Oh Christ! I clicked on the unmute button. Look how shit these webcams are. Right? Look at them. Right. Sorry. That's the one thing I forgot to do, was to sort the webcam out. Look at it. Welcome to Logitech. They're shit. Unless you go full manual. Hang on a sec. Right. So it takes ages for the Logitech software to come up, and then the colors will go correct, and then it will. There you go. You see, fully automatic. It's a piece of shit, and they say this is one of the best webcams on the market. Is it not? I don't think so. But anyway, happy Christmas. Look, I'm having a beer. I am queer and I'm having a beer. So why not? I haven't had a beer in ages. So is this me getting back to my old self? Possibly. Possibly. Oh, there we are. Oh. There. Oh, that's a bit off, actually. No. Whatever. Whatever. Oh, look, I'm off here now. Hang on. Get over there, you bastard. That's better. In the middle now. Right, okay. Okay, with that out of the way then, let's just say hello to everybody who's in. John Hunter, who was first, which apparently is amazing. If you're first, this is an amazing thing. If you're first, apparently. So, well done, John Hunter. You get the being first prize. Paul Robbins, Unknown, Smoky Prey, Explore Norfolk, Liam, Mam Nan, Anthony Wilkinson, Louise Summers, Charles Nolan, Winnie Witch, Roger C., Martin Young, Abandoned and Forgotten Wales, Rural Sound System, Jess Matthews, Stuart Willis, Martin Hill, Daniel Ullock, Andrea 73, Unknown, Cyrus Carter. Ooh, what's this say? Okay. Hang on, let me just say, sending a message. In fact, I should invite a few mates on. We could have a free for all, but I'll invite a few friends on. Which, in order to do that, I have to go into StreamYard on my phone. Then I have to say invite a guest, copy it to the clipboard, go into all these people's things, and then I can forward it to a load of them. Then, hang on, I say forward it to. Well, Taffy's out and about, but I'll send it to him anyway. I'll see if I get Steve on. He's not going to come on. Exploring Within. Liam Urbex, Liam LK. Why not? I see whether we can get him to come on. I don't know. He's been on once before, so I don't know. And of course, I must send it to Hidden History with Ray, and within about 20 seconds I'll probably be getting a message from Jackie Green going, what, are you ignoring me? Don't you want me on now? Don't you want me on? Don't you want me on? You haven't sent it to me. Don't you want me on? Send me the thing. So inevitably she'll get it, but I haven't sent it to her yet. Should be feeling very left out. Chris Partridge, Kevin Rathbone, Stephen Abbott, Andrew Clark, Ryan Townsend, Mark Urbex, hello Mark, Sean Cresswell, Custard Cream, or Q3 Tard Cream, Victoria Carlisle, and she said, Mam Nan said that she didn't know how to do a thumbs up. All I'm going to say is one word, lube. Okay, otherwise it can get a bit serious. So, Sego, Smoky Prey, I think I said, Liam LK, Louise Summers, Natalie, Lucy Alice, sorry. Oh my God, said that then. Jason Shoop, I'm watching on TV as Taffy's well, don't ask. Okay, I won't then. Getty Fook, yeah, Hawaii KH, Philip Simiska. This is cheap beer if you want to know. It's called Galaroo and it's £2.50 odd for 4 cans in Lidl's, so it's good. It will wreck your liver as good as the rest of them. Yeah. So Decay UK, Mixspanner, Napa's Urbex, Abandoned and Forgotten Wales, Exploring the World of Video Games and Blu-rays. Hello. Pingeptic. I thought that was the same person, or maybe I'm getting it wrong. Justin Davis, Phantom Exploration, Exploring with Kim and Dan, Wardy X360, Andrew Clark, Winnie Witch, I think I might have said that, but if I didn't, Kerno, hello, and Andy 2E0LPA, Dave Williams, Gary Newman. There we are. They all want the names mentioned, but you're just about to run out of time for a name mention. So let's just Steve Wren, 1986. Yeah. Well, anyway, there we are. I haven't really got much to talk about tonight. There is something I would like to talk about, but somebody's going to come on hopefully in a bit, and I'll see whether I can eke it out of him. Hi Matt, how are the fascists treating you? Sorry, not teaching me. They are teaching me. They're teaching me how to be more wise, and yeah, so that they can't screw me. Yeah. At this rate as well, I might as well use a distant server on a bloody data center and keep all my data out there, because if the pricks are going to come in your house, then they can't screw with you if you keep it all offline in another country at a data center, and I'll just remotely edit my shit through the internet, and when they come in they go, where's all your stuff? And it's like, oh, it's kept in Norway, fuck you. Yeah, there are so many ways to go like this to the police if you really want to. Yeah. So, no, the police have not given everything back, or just some, nothing. But don't worry, because I'm putting in a complaint to the Chief Constable tomorrow, and I'm going to be pointing out all the stupid things they took and how they really cannot in any way, shape or form relate to the charges in hand. So yeah. Oh, I didn't take my keys to the police station. Oh, no. Yes. And they were not happy about that. They were not happy about that. But nonetheless, I knew they were going to get in. Now, what people don't realise is a little thing about the police. You may not know this, okay? But if the police come to your house to do a search and you're not in, they will smash your doors or windows in to get in. You are responsible for paying for the repair bills for the police smashing in. If, however, they weren't meant to be there, say they came to the wrong address, or they didn't have a reason to be there, it was a mistake, then you can claim off the police for your damages. Yeah. But if they come to your house to search it and they can't get in there, i.e., as this person in the chat said, yeah, don't take your keys. Well, the thing is, this is how the police play it. They arrest you, they take your keys, and they use them to get in your house. Yeah. If you don't take your keys, they will smash their way into your house, and you have to pay. Yeah. Good, that, isn't it? Really fair, that, isn't it? You're not actually guilty. You've just been arrested. You're not guilty. And the charges may be dropped. You may not even be charged. I'm not actually charged at the moment. It's under investigation. So I haven't been formally charged. I'm not on bail. But merely because they've arrested me, they've gone into my house. Now, if I hadn't have given them a key, or, as I actually did, I got my neighbour to let them in, if I hadn't have done that, they would have smashed the door in and I would have had to pay. Yeah, really fair, that, isn't it? Even if down the line they go, charges dropped, we're not charging you, whatever, free to go, we've cleared our investigation. the bill is still on you. Oh yeah. Yeah. Ryan Townsend says they should pay the damages. What? Well, you see now, if I damage somebody's premises, I would have to pay, wouldn't I? But when the police damage your premises, they don't have to pay. Yeah, indeed. Haunted Coachman says they have to secure your house if they smash their way in. They can't just leave it open. Well, interestingly, I remember a police officer doing a search on my house, and they left my front door open. In fact, hang on a second. Well, what was this now? This was what was this? This was a weird. Hang on, I can't remember what it was now. But when I came back to the house, the front door had just been pulled closed, and it wasn't locked, and it wasn't secured, and if the wind had blown the door open, anyone walking past on the street would have been able to see, ooh, there's a door open there. I just making a point. And also, in that part of the room, I've got what used to be an old shower, but it's now been converted into a wardrobe. Okay, I didn't convert it, but it's got a curtain across it, right? And the police went in there to look for stuff. And coming out, they pulled the curtain over a heated fire, which was plugged in and turned on, and they knocked the dial. So instead of it being "don't come on," yeah, instead of being "don't come on," we have to turn it up to get it to come on, yeah, it was knocked, so it was on, but it was on low. So guess what? Incompetent bungling? Well, they nearly set the house on fire. Yeah. And the reason I knew this is because I can smell the heater on, because when it hasn't been on for ages, because it's really warm at the moment, you know, when you smell it, you go, that's a bit weird. So I went over there for a look, and there's only a curtain draped over it. Yeah, great. Yeah. Because they don't actually know what they're doing, and they don't care, because they won't have to take responsibility for it, because police, when they make mistakes, well, they're just doing their job, aren't they? And, well, accidents happen. But when you make mistakes, you get arrested for it. Yeah, you see? So that's the difference. So, yeah, police arrested a friend and left the house, garage and workshop wide open. Wankers. Yeah, it's one of their little intimidation tactics they do, you know. Yeah, they're just full of it. They're just absolutely full of it. I mean, and of course, if you're in the United States, the police come to your house. You got a dog. First thing they do is they shoot the dog, because, well, it might be a danger. And if the dog comes running up and wanting to jump on you, as the dogs do, like, hello, who are you? Bang. Yeah. So they kill your pets, because they want to search your house, and you haven't even been in front of a judge. You're not necessarily guilty. Charges may be dropped. You may not be charged with anything, but, well, we had to come to your house and there was a dog there. So we're the police. We're special. You know, when we come to your house, we expect to not have to experience things like animals. So we had to shoot it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wankers. Yeah. So Winnie Witch is saying no warrant, no probable entry. Well, we'll have to find that out. You know, under what basis were they making an entry to my place? Because all the stuff they took is very random, and if they couldn't come in at 4 a.m. in the morning, they obviously didn't have a warrant to come in. So what's the probable cause then? You know, what's the probable cause? Oh, well, he did a video between January and April. Oh, these people were butthurt. Well, that's a long time ago, isn't it? So you can't use that as an excuse to want to come in my house, because that's a very long time ago. Yeah. So the only excuse they're using is I said I was going to punch somebody. Really? Is that a good excuse to go in and search somebody's house? I don't think so. But we shall be, looking into all of that with the fascists. So we shall see. Yeah, Angel was there actually, haunted coachman, but I told the neighbour to let her out the back garden or take care of it, you know. So yeah, I had that all in hand. But if I wasn't here and they kicked the door in and the dog was here, you wonder what they would do. Because last time, in Torquay, when the dog was in the car and they wanted to seize the car, they put the dog in a bloody kennels. You know what I mean? Spiderbite says, "Did I get raided?" Well, yeah, basically. Yeah. Anyway, so some people are sending me messages, so I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody's saying that they're getting their account cloned. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, nope. We haven't got any takers for coming on yet. Well, the neighbours are half decent, and I mean, I've been keeping them up to date on what's been going on. One definitely watches from that side, and one watches from that side, but not so frequently. But as I'm just saying, you know, it's like really, you know, I think they've had their ears tweaked. You know, when you see Mr. Williams next, you get in his house, and you know, you cause trouble. So that's what they're trying to do. Now the trouble is as well, I've had problems with the police in the past, and I've had complaints upheld, and there was once an incident where a police officer got injured on my car by running into my car, and broke a shoulder. And I'm sure there's still probably a bit of butthurt in the police over that, wanting to you know, enact revenge, and it's from the same police force. Now, I mean, I was never charged with anything there because the police officer lied and said that I ran him over with my car, and that's not what happened. He ran into the side of my car, and yeah, so that was dropped. But you can see, you know, he said, "Oh, I was knocked over by Mr. Williams. He ran over me in his car." And it was like, "Oh yeah, so there was a manhunt out for me for for attempted murder of a police officer." Yeah, really. Yeah. So I swear there's a bit of butthurt probably there for that, you know. And there's definitely a lot of butthurt over Corsham. Yeah, indeed. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, you know, they haven't done a very good job of itemizing what they've taken. Like they've you know, listed down one JVC camera, but there were two JVC cameras. And I can prove that because I was going to sell them. I've got the photos which were for going on eBay. So I've got the photos of the two cameras. Oh, yeah. So, you know, hopefully they're not just going to sort of think they can just hang on to stuff or not list it properly. You know. Oh, you've got all my stuff, have you? In good keeping. You can't even list it properly. Great. But if you're going to call on it as evidence, and I go, well, this is what you sent me as an email, and there's things that aren't in the evidence which you now have, or when they give them back to me, I will be going, yes, I take receipt of two JVC cameras, even though when I asked you what you had, you said you had one JVC camera. When you can prove that the chain of evidence is broken, as in that is breaking the chain of evidence, because if they can't be clear with what they took, then things can be being taken in and out of bags, and there's no trust in the chain of evidence. And if there's no trust in the chain of evidence, the case falls apart. It gets thrown out. It's called a technicality. So yeah. Because when they take stuff, it has to be sealed. And then if they're going to look at it, they have to break the seal, note that they've broken the seal, time and date, sign it, right? Then they do what they got to do, then they got to put it back and they got to seal it. And that has to be done every time they want to look at something. They got to break the seal, reseal, break the seal, reseal. Well, if they can't even tell you what they've got from the start correctly, that breaks the chain of evidence. So, So that'll be going in my complaint as well. Yeah. Okay. Well, I've asked a few people on, but no takers. No takers so far, but I might open it up for a laugh and see if anyone wants to come on, because we haven't done that in a while. This is a bit of a random one. But all I'm gonna say, right, and I'm hoping that somebody comes on and we'll be able to talk about possibly this subject matter a little bit more. But I'm not going to guarantee it. But all I'm going to say is this. When I told you the other night that Beno the retard, right? Beno is a bully. He is a bully. Yeah? He is a bully. He's called the police going, he said he's going to punch me, right? After sending me a very bullying message saying, I am going to expose you, I will destroy you, I will put stuff out there that will get you in trouble, right? Well, I heard earlier on this evening that he's doing that right now to a lot of people, right? He's saying to people, you have to decide whose side you're on. Oh my God, here he is. Mr. B-Face. Have you heard what I'm talking about? No audio. Neinen Audion. You have no audio.
Yeah.
There we are. I heard you then for a second.
Yeah, I decided to join on my laptop. Can't be arsed waiting.
Okay. Well, what I was saying is there's this bloke out there, right, who's been telling me about Beno, right? And this bloke has been telling me that they're calling you Bruno.
Oh,
Bruno. He's not camp like that. You know who Bruno is, isn't he? Yeah.
I need to give myself a bit of a shave. Just noticed through my camera. Don't like having a beard. I like having a baby face.
Oh yeah. Well, there we are. Looking good. Not that I'm into young people like yourself, but yeah, whatever.
It's my I can't put my charger in. Oh.
That's a euphemism, by the way, folks.
Oh, there we go.
He's plugging his charger in. Yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere special.
Somewhere keeping it warm.
I can't even get my pillow right. What's happening with my pillow? Here we go.
It's a special pillow.
Yeah.
It's pointy in the middle. Right. Sorry. I got to stop it now, right? I mean, some people ain't used to these sorts of jokes, but yeah, we
it's
can
all right. Some people are just wild with bottoms, aren't they?
Yeah. Paul Robbins says we can see his face. Yeah, haven't you like the revolution has happened, mate? Viva la revolution. We've gone all quite darker now. What's going on?
Oh, because I'm trying to get a pop-up chat open. Oh no, I don't want to hear myself twice.
He's only using his laptop as a light look. Mark of
I want it to be all nice and cozy.
Mark of a professional, yeah. White screen better, less noise.
Can I not?
Yeah. Mam Nan says, love the humour. Don't stop. Don't stop till we get enough. Okay, fair enough. Right, well, I was speaking to this bloke earlier on who told me a story about Mr. Beno. And he was telling me that Beno is going mental right now, like threatening people, bullying them, saying, you have to decide who your friends are, and if you're siding with Secret Vault, or anything, then I'm not only going to end our friendship, but I am going to destroy you.
Yeah, he's doing that. He's doing that with he's messaging people, like people who know me.
You heard this same story then, did you, from this bloke?
Yeah, I heard this same story.
Right.
Messaging people who know me and saying, send Jordan this, send Jordan that, send Jordan this, send Jordan that, and then saying, and then when people go, I don't want to get involved in your disputes, I don't want to get involved. It's going, if you do not get involved and blah, blah, blah. Shh, I'm in a live. Come here and tell them.
Oh,
Tell them what Ben's being like.
I'm bending like.
Come and tell him.
Oh,
I'm on live stream.
I
Millie,
know. What do you mean you're on live stream?
it's a gay fetish live stream.
Being awful to you.
Just gay, it's for gay people. Gay fetish.
But anyway, yeah, he's been saying to people that what do you call it? That if he don't send messages on his behalf to people, that you know, that he's gonna fall out with him. He's basically been saying, send Jordan these messages, otherwise I'll see it as you being as bad as Jordan and as bad as Secret Bolt. You're siding with Jordan and Secret Bolt, and therefore our friendship will be terminated, and I'll attack you, you know, spread negativity and end friendships and leak information. You know?
Which is pretty much what he said to me. You know, it pretty much it's a template. It's a template for how he talks to people and treats people. And he sent me a message, and then he deleted it. And he left a load of messages saying how he was a nice person and a reasonable person and and all this. But like the first message he sent me, which was the one that triggered me and set me off, right? The first one was a threat. You know, and he's deleted that, but he's left all the rest where he goes, I am a nice, reasonable person, I am nice. That is not...
He didn't present it to me like that.
Yeah.
He didn't present it to me like that. Every time you had sent him a message or a response, he'd go, I haven't done anything, Secret Bolt. I was just laid in my car asleep, and I woke up and he sent me this message out of the blue, out of nowhere.
What, just out of the blue, I just send him a message for no reason, just saying I'm going to punch you, right? He hasn't wound me up at all. He hasn't said anything to wind me up or trigger me. And he ain't sleeping in his frigging car, because this happened at 11 o'clock in the morning when I was going up to the hospital. And I got up at 9. I had an appointment. I had rang the surgery. I had an appointment with the doctor at 10. I think it was, and he said, get to the bloody hospital now, get to the hospital. So I drove back, and I was just getting on the road, so it was about 11 o'clock, and I had my appointment with them. I rung them to say I'm on my way, and they said, yeah, we'll see you about 12, and it takes an hour for me to get there. And I think I got there, I can remember the day, even though I was really screwed, I can remember I got there about 6 minutes past 12 or something, and I've even got videos of me in during the day, so I mean I can show you the times when I was in. But anyway, he rang me when I was just leaving the house. It was about 11 o'clock in the morning. In fact, I have his messages, which were all quickfire. So if he says he's in his car asleep somewhere and I sent him a message out of the blue, I don't think he's going to be in his car sleeping like that in the morning, especially him being him and not liking people around his car and any movement at all, because he's like, it's upsetting me. Like, when he came to stay here and I told him to go and park up near the park because it's quiet. No, he chose to park right next to Co-op because he's insecure, so he wanted to park where there were going to be people, and then he was pissed off and butthurt because there were people at 7 in the morning because Co-op starts opening, and there were people there, and I said, well, why didn't you go up the park then? And what happened next night? He parked exactly the same place. He was moaning about it. And it's like, well, go up the park then. It's like, well, you're your own worst enemy then. You come in the house. No, I'm not coming in your house. All right then, whatever.
I'm surprised about that, because normally on road trips, he's really picky about where he parks, and he's like, residents there, they could see me sleeping. We can't park here. It needs to be nice and quiet, picture grass, with nothing else outside of it, no one walking past. So that was actually quite shocking to me, quite surprising, but I didn't really say out what it was. I just thought, well, it's up to him then. Yeah.
So there we are. He sent me a message and I replied to him at 6 in the morning, I think it was. It must have been on the same day, because it says 6 in the morning, right? Then the first message he sent at 12 minutes past 10. So I must have left at about 10 then from my house. So it was probably 9 o'clock appointment with the doctor. I'd come back to my house and I was leaving the house at 10, so I got it an hour wrong, right? But we're talking 10 in the morning. He sent me this first message, which he deleted. Then he sent me all the rest of this, where he's going, I'm such a nice guy, and you're being really nasty to me, and I'm such a nice guy, and I'm such a nice guy. Right, well, all that happened at 10:33 in the morning. So he's sitting in his car at 10:33 in the morning asleep. I doubt it, because he won't go places.
Looks like an English essay.
Oh yeah. And each one of those you have to press more, and there's loads more. It's like pages and pages more, because it only shows you like about 2 pages, and it goes you have to press more. So it's like yeah. But Daniel Ullock says, I knew for a while that Beno was using Jordan. I had a feeling all along Beno was a scumbag. Well, I didn't really know the guy. The reason I contacted him in the first place is because he was doing lift videos, and that's the reason I contacted bloody idiot spastic from Swindon. It's like because I needed somebody that knew about lifts, because I had a mission. I wanted to get in somewhere in London, and it had a lift. Now I can tell you what it is now, because the building's been demolished, right? It's the clock tower in Croydon, and it had a lift, and it had a swipe card to get you into a basement level where there was a bunker, right? So I thought, well, who knows about lifts? Who can override the swipe card? Who can do something like that? And then I found out that these lift surfers can get on top of a lift and then ride it down to the basement with somebody in the lift. Yeah, so I could have got in the bunker, and I'm like, this would be really cool. But of course, Swindon Spastic is like, he's all over the bloody place, and so is Beno. And to be honest, you need people that like aren't sketchy with these things. And yeah, anyway, it never really got that far, because I've only done a couple of things with Beno, but yeah. And then it all started to get a bit weird then when you came down to my place and like to do a road trip, and he wasn't happy, but he wouldn't say nothing to me about it. But there we are.
I kept saying to him, well, tell secret about this. And then I showed you the messages, and they were telling you what he was saying, and you were like, it's the first I heard. And I'm like, I'm not telling you this to cause problems. I'm telling you this because obviously if there's problems in between you and him with locations you're showing him and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I think you need to know so you can reorganise the day and plan it so
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't care where I go. I mean, I could have gone anywhere. But I thought you want to see things that a lot of people want to see. They all want to see like underground Rudlow tunnels, quarries. That to most people is really interesting. So I mean, I just said, do you want to do this? Do you want to do this? And we just like went through a load of ideas, and he didn't seem to sort of really, show much of a preference to what he was doing, but he was just pissed off with a lot of the things. But I found that out after the fact, which is a bit sad. So, why didn't he just say like, because I don't care. I've done all these places before. It doesn't mean anything to me. In fact, it's a bit boring me taking people back to the places I've done, many, many times. So if somebody doesn't want to go to one, I'm like, well, what do you want to go to? Because I don't really care, It's like we take you, I'm taking people for their benefit, not for mine. So anyway, but Sally in the Woods Mine, where we did, it was a nightmare if you remember. Yeah. Well, there we are.
He said to me, he kept coming up to me and he kept going, those two over there, they've been rude to me. Now, we need to go off on our own. They've been rude, I can't explore with them. And I'm going, why? What have they done? Because I didn't see, I hardly saw any interaction, to be honest. They were like they hardly even spoke to him. And I'm going, why? What have they done? I don't know. They've been rude to me. And I'm like, well, whether they've been rude to you or not, I still think we should stick together because it's a large mine. And if anything happens, we're all in a team. And let's say something happened, like a collapse or something, then we could say to one of his fellow team members, like, can you go out and tell out of the mine and get phone signal and tell Bolts what's happened so we can get help? More people you've got with you, the better. And I'm like, wandering about, and I turn around, and it's like, where's Ben gone? And I'm like, well,
Which is a recurring
he's not.
theme, like Beno disappears on most explores, you know. But it's a bit more serious when you're in a quarry where he's going to get lost, you know, an underground quarry.
Yeah, and we were like, well, at the start we said we'll all meet at the entrance for this certain time. The time comes and he's not there, so we thought we'll wait a bit longer. And he comes out screaming, nearly crying, saying, he got lost, didn't he? Got lost, and when you get into the deeper bits, it repeats. So he got lost, and he was there for ages, setting stones up, trying to not go back on himself, in every possible route, try and get back.
And there we are. Steve, by the way, Exploring Within, who's commenting in the chats, he says it took ages to find him in there. And everybody's getting stressed out then, because it's like you don't know, has something happened to him? Has something fallen on him? Is he unconscious? Do you have to go in and search for him? Or is he going to come out? Or what? And the thing is, he's a bastard for it. I'm going to be blunt. He's a bastard for it, because a few times I've gone out with him, right, you turn your back and the bastard's disappeared, and he does it every time, and it's bloody rude. It's rude, you know. It's rude, and it's wrong. Thank you, Bucharest Guided Tours, for your donation. It says best wishes from Sector 5, Bucharest. Sector 5. I wonder what that is. But you know, I just think it's bloody rude. You know, it's just not. It's not a done thing. You shouldn't be doing that. You know, you should tell people I'm leaving now, because, like I've said to you, I said, well, where's Beno? Like, I mean, because I'm thinking we have to go and look for him, and Jordan's used to it, and he's like, oh, he's probably gone out, you know, and I'm like, well, why hasn't he told us? And I'm like, I've rung his number and he's not answering, you know, and it's like, he's got his phone on him. His phone's going to be on, but he won't answer his phone because he's on his way out on a mission to leave, because that's what he wants to do, because in his world, that's all that counts, you know. And he's not,
Yeah,
you know.
I got my coat ripped for him, defending him against security. Security ragged my coat off and ripped it off. Right? In Liverpool, me and a few other mates are on the roof. Security's coming up. He doesn't even come and tell us. He's darting down those stairs, getting out.
And
then
he didn't even tell you.
It's too late. No, he didn't tell us. He told us. He rung us up and told us while security was stood there with us. We're too late by that time. If that were me in that situation, I'd have walked up to me and everyone else, and I'd have gone, lift's coming up, security's on the way, we need to get a move on. You know, I wouldn't have just sprinted out of the building and left us all there to get caught.
Yeah.
I felt insulted that I got my coat ripped. I was like, I got my coat ripped for him, and he don't even give a toss.
Yeah, but this is it, see, because he's in his own little world, like, you know, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, you know, I got pulled up for calling him a spurg by the police, you know, and it's like, well, you know, there are different people with different levels of, you know, Asperger's. Jordan has Asperger's, right?
Yeah.
And he's a hell of a lot more functional than Beno, right? Beno is like just about functional, yeah, but he's got a lot of emotional problems, you know, and can't hold his emotional control. He flips out, but he's got a very rigid idea of what he wants, and it doesn't really equate what anybody else wants or thinks. It's just, I want this, I'm doing this. And probably the only reason he's ringing you is not to tell you, it's probably half of it is not to do with security. It's like, well, where are we going next then? That's probably like, come on, I want to go to the next place. Oh, security are coming. It's like, you know, would he even bother? I just don't think it's like some of these people, they're just like blinkered.
It's like in Liverpool, and it's like I went to Liverpool. My purpose of going to Liverpool was to do crane climbing and, you know, go on top of lifts and climb up scaffoldings and get on roofs of buildings. And we're looking at cranes, we're looking at buildings, and he's going, does it have a working lift? No. Oh, well, I'm not that interested in it then. Or it's like, oh, there's this crane over there. Does it drive? No, you can't, if it's got no power. Oh, I'm not really interested in climbing that then. I'm like, you want to at least climb it to just enjoy the view. Does it have to turn on? Does it have to drive? You know?
And I think he's really taking a bloody chance with driving those cranes, because I mean, they come down, they kill people. You know, like they will come down, and they will kill people if you drive them. And you put them in a direction and it's not the direction that the wind is taking them, and the wind changes direction, so you can't just drive the crane and go, well, there's the weathercock, the wind's going this way, I'll drive it this way, because in 10 minutes time the wind could go 90 degrees and bang. See, people who actually operate cranes have a license to do it, and they understand the subtleties of what it is to do it. So if you're going to go up a crane and that crane is unlocked, as in it can freely move the way the wind is taking it, and suddenly you lock it in gear and then you drive that crane around, right? Now, I've heard it a couple of times that Beno does not put the lift settings back when he changes these lift settings and speeds the lift up to hyper speeds. So it's almost like people are, well, it stops quickly and people are nearly coming out the bloody floor and hitting the ceiling. Right? If he does that, which I'm being told he does, right, and he walks away and he doesn't put the settings back, well, how could he put the settings back? He's an amateur. He's playing around. Does he even know what he's doing? No, he doesn't. So, yeah, he can change some settings, but does he know how to put them back? Probably not properly, and he doesn't care. Because once he's finished with that lift, he walks away. He's had his bit of fun. That's it now. On we go. And I can imagine he's got exactly the same attitude to do with cranes. You know?
Yeah, there has been times where cranes have been left like with the jib right down and it used to be up and in wrong directions and stuff.
There we go. I mean, it's not leaving things like you found them. You know, and in that sort of scenario, it is very dangerous, because cranes will come over and they'll fall over with a bit of wind very easily, and nearly every crane collapse you hear about involves somebody's dead on the ground. You know, because it's going to hit a building, it's going to hit things. You know, you read about it a lot, and yeah, one day you may see that guy up on murder charges, you know, because, well, it's going to be manslaughter charges. Because he's buggering about with things he doesn't know anything about. You know, and as a lift, you know, people go like, oh, it's lift surfing and all that. Well, it's like, I was saying to somebody the other day, if you took somebody's car, right, if you got into somebody's car, found a way to start it, drove it around like crazy doing donuts, like, all right, then stopped it, then plugged your laptop into it, then reprogrammed it so now it's not doing 200 brake horsepower, it's now doing 600 brake horsepower, and then ride it round again, rag it as hard as you can, like, all right, and then park it somewhere else, get out and leave it, I think that would be called theft, and I think what you've done would be called damage, criminal damage. And I think the charges and the bill would be sent to you along with you getting, you know, criminally charged in a court. But yeah, you know what I mean. And it's like, Jordan's got kicked off. He'll come back on now. But you know, that to me is, you shouldn't be playing with other people's shit. Riding up and down using the engineer mode, that's different, because that's a set slow speed. It's what they designed the lift to do. It's a bit naughty, but it's the way the lift was designed to be operated. You know, it is naughty, you know, and people could die, you know, fall off the top of the lift, catch themselves in something, whatever. But reprogramming the bloody lifts and changing the speeds and the motor settings and the brake settings, and Jesus, honestly, I mean, you know, and like, when you know that it's not people who really have a good understanding, have like read the manuals on lifts, it's just people who are buggering about going, what does this button do? What does it do if I change this setting? What if I put a screwdriver in here and twist it round? How does that affect it? You know? Hello, Jordan. He's back. Oh, he's gone out.
Yeah, I've gone for a nice walk so I can be a bit more vocal without
I was going to say,
coming in my room.
He's gone out because he needs to raise his voice a bit.
Yeah, because it's like, I'll end up with someone walking in my room going, Jordan, be quiet now. Blah, 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 you know,
Oh dear. Yeah.
because I've got work in the morning and stuff.
Oh, fair enough then.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you get
I've
mugged in
forgot what I
London,
was gonna say.
we can call 999 if you get mugged now in London walking around.
It's all right. I'm not in London. I'm in Doncaster.
Oh. Oh, that's all right then.
So,
I was thinking like, oh, if you were in London and it was your partner, he probably
it's a bit quiet.
he wouldn't come in. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the people had the wrong accent for it to be my partner.
I haven't really heard your partner, so I don't know.
So, yeah, we're gonna talk about what happened in Liverpool.
Oh
That's
yeah.
what I was gonna say.
What, Liverpool with the you're getting your coat ripped?
No, with the situation that happened.
Oh, you're going to go into that? Oh my God, that's a bit of a biggie. Don't let me stop you, but yeah.
Yeah. So
Beno's gonna love you if you tell this one. Beno's really gonna love him if he tells this one.
Well, I'll hopefully get him off my back for contacting me. Hopefully, then he'll be like, you know, he'll be like, I don't want to talk to him now. I never want to know what to do with him. So, and he'll stop people being my messenger. Hopefully, you know.
Yeah. That is a perfect representation, voice acting of Beno, by the way.
You know. So do you know that building that I took you to in Liverpool, the one with all of the different floors and with the hay on the floor and stuff?
I am editing it now, but people haven't seen it yet. But yeah.
Me and Ben, it started off. Me and Ben were on the roof of that, and he were playing back your voice message to me, and you were asking me what my opinion was on it. And I didn't want to get involved, so I didn't give him an opinion or out. I said, basically, wanted to be in the position of, I'll be your friend and I'll be Malta's friend, but I don't want to get involved or choose sides or anything. I just want to relax and meet up with you and meet up with Alts and relax. So I was avoiding it. I wasn't really giving him any answers or out, and I was sort of like trying to get the other two people to come out quicker because they were in the hotel, and I'm trying to get them to meet me quicker because we're like, oh, please come out and meet me, just in hopes that he'd stop going on about it.
Yeah.
So I'm messaging the other two to come out, and they come out and we explored it all and stuff. And then we went to Tesco to get some bits and bats. And do you know which Tesco I'm on about? The one opposite the building.
No. Oh, yes, actually, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, where you flew your drone.
Yes.
And,
now you. Yeah.
Anyway, he stood there, and he keeps bringing it up. He wants me to. He basically were wanting me to voice my opinion and say it's disgusting that you've sent such a message to him saying all of that out of the blue and blah 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 blah. And he's constantly moaning at me in the street, going, he's saying things like, are you going to send Secret Bolt that message then? And I'm like, no, I don't want to get involved. And then he's going, well, I'm going home then. I'm going home. I'm going to go home. I'm going home. But he's saying it really loudly. He's like, no, I'm going home. No, the stay's ruined. The Liverpool trip's ruined. I'm going home. But he's not actually committing to going home. He's just like following me around, saying he's going home and he's saying it with like an elevated voice with aggression in his voice tone. And anyway, he compared me to someone. Basically, he had an old friend.
Tom Cruise, I hope. Yeah.
No, he had an old friend called Max.
Right.
And this guy just disappeared on him because he couldn't be asked with shit associated with dealing with Ben. And anyway, he kept going, I bet you're just going to be like Max and disappear. I bet you're just going to be like Max and disappear. And I'm like, I'm stood there like, hang on a minute. I've known you for 5 years. I've been here with you for 5 years. So, you know, what makes you think I'm just going to disappear? I've known you for 5 years. Why are you saying that? I find it very insulting that you think I'm just going to disappear. And anyway, they were using that as a point to, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, I
Because
just
people
saw myself and I thought,
what it was, people were saying it was because it's dark, they can't see you. So I thought, well, if I make you
yeah,
like this, they'll have more of a chance to see you. There we are.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, anyway, he's trying to compare me to Max disappearing in order to add more pressure onto me. So I do what he wants, you know. So I'm still not conforming with his requests. So it gets really heated, and he's going, well, you are involved because I introduced you to the secret vault, and because I introduced you to the secret vault, that makes you involved. And I'm going, whoa, hang on a minute. So if I introduce you to one of my friends, and then 2 months down the line we fall out, I've got to choose a side and get him. Sorry, you've got to choose a side and get involved because I've introduced you to him. So the expectation should be that you choose my side automatically and get involved. I'm saying to him, no, that's not how it works. And he's arguing with me, going, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And he's like screaming at me, like following me. He was following me down the streets, saying, I'm going home, giving me really filthy looks, like really bad, filthy looks. He were going, the way he was talking and saying all of this stuff, it wasn't just talking elevated. It was, oh, you are involved. Yes, you are, like full blast. So if you think about all of the people going shopping in Tesco and stuff, they're all going shopping, seeing him, and he's quite animated when he actually talks. He don't just stand still and talk. He's like jumping about like this all over, screaming and shouting, like really animated.
Yeah.
So there's people walking past, wanting to go in Tesco, go shopping and all of that, and they're seeing us lot arguing like that. And it was so embarrassing that the other 2 people that we were with that had come to meet us said, oh, we're going to go back to hotel and get a few bits and bets because, you know, to get out of the situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was basically trying to avoid the situation, walking around town, and Ben's following me saying he's going to go home. But he was stood right close to me like this. And I was trying to open up my phone and message you to say, Ben's being like this, blah, 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 blah. But every time I tried to open my phone, he was stood there looking, watching every action and every person I called and every message I opened. So it made me feel very uncomfortable to make any interactions on my phone. And that's what caused me to disappear from him in the end. Additionally to that, after it stopped with that, we were walking around and remember, it started on about it at like 11 o'clock and it was like 3 o'clock when he'd finished, 3-4 o'clock-ish. And we were walking around and he wanted to see all hotels in Liverpool. And he's whispering in my ear because the other 2 joined us back, but he don't want them to hear what he's saying. So he's sort of like saying it quietly in my ear. And he's going, oh, we're not going to be able to see all hotels in Liverpool. Can you walk a bit faster? And I said to him, well, I've come to meet, and then I mentioned the other 2 people's names because they travelled from Wales to Liverpool to meet up. And I goes, I'm not just going to fast walk away from them when it's 30 degrees outside and expect them to just start catching up. Because he was saying, well, if you start fast walking, they'll start fast walking to catch up. And I went, no, that's not how you treat people. So I turned around to him and went, Ben wants to walk a bit quicker so he can see all hotels. I know it's hot. Are you willing to do that? And they went, no, it's too hot. So then every time I wasn't fast walking or I wasn't walking at the desired speed that he wanted me to walk at, he'd give me a filthy look, like a death look.
Yeah.
We walked into Travel Lodge and the lift were just like a base model bog standard lift that wasn't really worth looking at. And there were lots of people waiting for the lift, and these people got in the lift, and I said, this lift's not really worth seeing. So he stuck his key in and he stopped the lift on the people inside the lift as me and the other two were walking out. And then when we turned around, he darted off and gone on his own, and I didn't see him again until like the next day in the evening.
So are you saying he locked people in a lift, like, and turned the lift off?
He didn't turn it off. He sort of turned the key so it'd stop. So it'd stop for 5 seconds, refind its position. So he sort of delayed the journey, you know.
Right, that's good.
The emergency stopped.
Yeah.
So
well, it's not nice to be emergency stopped in a lift, because you're going all the way down, and suddenly it goes boom, and it stops really hard, you know.
Yeah. So anyway. I met up with these two climbers who like climb up with scaffoldings, go on roofs and stuff. And I'd spent all night out with them till like 6 o'clock in the morning, being nice to them, friendly with them, all of that lot. The next day, Ben comes along, and I'm like, "Oh, you'll like these people. They climb up and stuff and all of that lot." And he knew them, and I'm like, "Yeah, the personality is really good. It's not like the other people who are a bit distant with you. They actually get into good conversations and all of that." Anyway, they take us to this 35-story building site, which is under construction, to go on the roof of the building. And Ben's trying to get them into doing lift surfing, but they're not interested in lift surfing. You could tell without they were avoiding it that they wasn't interested in going on top of a lift on that particular day. So Ben kept trying to pressure them to go on top of the lift by, by subtly, the way he does. And anyway, we were on roof, we're taking pictures and enjoying the view and all of that lot of his 35-story building. Me and Ben were on top of the lift. They come to us and they goes, "Right, we're going to head out now." And Ben were like, "Oh, you can take lift. It'll start working in a minute, because when you've drove it on maintenance mode and brought it back to normal, it has to go back to the lowest floor to re-find its position so it can operate again." And they were like, "Oh, no, you've messed with it. We'll take stairs." Anyway.
It's probably wise.
Yeah. They took the stairs and we took the lift down. And Ben were like, "They've ditched us. They've ditched us to get caught by security. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. I'm going to say something to them when they get out." So anyway, we got out before them because we took the lift. And they come out a bit lighter. And Ben got nervous and goes, "Oh, can you say something?" So I were basically going to say to him, "Look, guys, in future, can you just make sure everyone's aware that you're leaving the building? Because I don't think Ben heard you. So just in future, just maybe just tell everyone individually and make sure that they've actually heard that you've taken that mode of exit." Anyway, just as I was saying it, he cut me up. "It is disgusting. It is disgusting. You left us to get caught by security." And obviously this other person reacted defensive. So he were like, whoa, and like all arguing. And I cut him up and said, "Hold on, guys. It's not worth arguing about. Let's just because we're still stood in front of the building, what we'd been in, where the security." I goes, let's not argue about it. Let's just continue the night and enjoy yourselves."
Yeah.
Anyway, Ben looked at me, and under his breath, he went with a really dirty look, "Why do you always have to make me look like the bearer of BENOs?" Like, looked really disgusted.
Well, because Beno, you are the fucker who wanted to fucking kick it off. You're the fucker who wanted to kick it off, but you wanted to use this fucking guy here to fucking stoke the fire for you, and he didn't do it enough. So you freaked out yourself, and then you go, It's like, well, no, Beno, you're the one who wanted to shout at these people, and you were the one who did shout at these people in the end, and then you try to blame him. Fuck's sake.
Yeah. So
Fucking
then
hell.
we are walking, and I'm basically going, oh, what do you think to tonight so far, guys? And I'm basically addressing them by the names, and they're going, yeah, it's been really good. I've really enjoyed this location we've been to, and this location and this location we've been to. And Ben, and then I'm going, how have you found the night, Ben? And he's walking, shrugging his shoulders, turning around, giving me a dirty look, and I'm going, Ben, and he's just started blanking me then, and I'm going, Ben, and then obviously one of the people we were with shouted Ben, and he turned around and went, I don't know, and continued walking, and he was just in a mood with me that night. So because I agreed to take him home in my car, I took it at the end of the trip. I took him home in my car, and then once I got home, I just blocked him and I hadn't spoke to him.
That was the end. That was the last straw. Trust me, Jordan's told me a lot more stories than that, but that was the last straw, because I think it's been a long time coming. You mate, have got a patience of a saint. I've said this. I would not have put up with the stuff that you have put up with. I would not. I don't think most people would have put up with a hundredth or a tenth or 100th of what you put up with, because
it builds up, doesn't it? For me, it builds up. So for me, it's like adding to a queue. So it's like, right, this has happened now. This has happened now. This has happened now. And I tried to tell him that he needs to calm down a bit, because I started saying to him, look, I don't pay all that money for petrol, and I don't sit in my car and drive for hours to sit there to go on a trip and deal with stress. I can't deal with it. I can't. It's mentally degrading me. I can't do it. I want to go on these road trips, and I want to be happy when I leave them. And I want to go, hang on a minute, this road trip's been quite nice. I've really enjoyed this road trip. And that's how I want the road trips to be. I don't want them to be stress or peer pressure or anything, because then it affects me for the rest of the road trip. And at the same time, because I'm meeting up with other people, I have to put like a front on to make it look like I'm still all right. But as soon as I end up at home, that's when it hits me, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, like I say, I mean, I think you've got a lot of patience. And thanks, by the way. I don't have a subscribe star to the guy that just donated. Let me just see who it was. It was Tom Marston. Yeah, thank you very much for your donation. By the way, folks, if you donate via YouTube, I'll put the banner up. If you donate via YouTube, you know you are flushing 50% of your money down the drain, because they take 50% of the money, YouTube, these days. It's like 30% then tax, and it becomes out about 50%. If you PayPal me, you get all of it. But if you do it through StreamYard, through this linky thing that happens here, I get 100% of the money. And you still get a nice little thing comes up on the screen and goes, thank you. But I get 100% of it, because YouTube are piss taking at the moment. I mean, but anyway, yeah, back to the important points. Well, people are saying in the channel, so I'll just explain, right? Jordan does speak very loudly, right? This is his way, right? He's like the Mandalorian. This is the way. He's like, this is the way. So
sometimes you have to go, shh.
I do.
There's been times where we're in buildings and it's like, shh, there's security there, and I don't realise, because my volume, as I get more and more into what I'm talking about, my volume just goes up and up and up.
Have you ever spoken? If you've ever spoken to anyone who's wearing hearing aids because they're going deaf, right? That's like Jordan. He just goes, "Are you all right? Yeah, what's going on then? I was with it." And it's like, whoa, down a bit. But the thing is, that's Jordan. You get used to it. But that Jordan is like this, right? I mean, people think that you're getting like wound up. No, Jordan is not getting wound up. He tells you very quickly, a matter of fact, this is his nature. Yeah, this is how he is. And I'm used to it, even though he blows my eardrums out sometimes. I'm used to it, you know. But this is Jordan. He's pretty full on, and it's just part of, you know, how he is, you know. So, but the important thing to take from this, I think, is that, like he's had a lot of experiences which have like led to this kind of separation from Beno, which is it is sad. I mean, I think it is quite sad, even though I've had my problems with Beno. It is nonetheless quite sad because they've had 5 years of explores together, but also I pick up things very much so, and I'm like hearing this guy's pain, like from things I'm hearing, and I've said to him, I said, well, I wouldn't put up with that. I wouldn't put up with that. I don't think most people put up with that. And the thing is, to hear that, like, after 5 years, the moment he stops communicating with Beno, he starts getting these threats, right, and shit thrown at him. That is like, really? It's like...
It hurts me, those threats. Those threats really hurt me, because it's like, I always said to him, I'll have the agreement that if we ever fall out, I won't say anything. I won't mention out publicly. I'll just keep it quiet between a small group. I might voice it to people in my friend circle, because obviously I can't sit on it, because otherwise I'll just work myself up in my mind. So you need to talk about these things.
Agreed,
but I won't say anything publicly, But the thing is, after he sent those threats, it's like, well, fuck you then. If we're gonna fall out with each other, and you can't even approach me like a proper friend and like a proper person who's fallen out with someone would, and like I'd expect him to go, "Hey up, Jordan. I think there's something more going on here. You've blocked me. You haven't said out to me for a while. If there is something really going on, I won't be angry. I won't be sad or anything. Just explain to me what problems you've got, and we'll work on them. We'll work to resolve it. That's what I'd expect. That's not unreasonable to expect, is it?
No, that's not unreasonable. I mean, you to me seem like the more reasonable out of the bunch. I mean, I met you through Beno, but in fact, Beno is quite hard to relate to, and you're a lot easier to relate to. Now, I know you can't kind of judge each person who's got, like, Asperger's the same, because they have different, like, levels of it and skill sets, and some have developed, like, their social skills, and some haven't, and...
Well, you can meet some Asperger's people who literally have, like, basic, like, baby conversations, and then you can meet some autistic Asperger's people. Well, nowadays it's under autism spectrum disorder. They don't diagnose Asperger's. So you can meet some people on autism spectrum disorder who won't even talk at all, and who will just avoid conversations altogether. Then you can meet people who are really intelligent, and then you can meet people who are over obsessive, like, you're theirs. That's it now. You're theirs, and you belong to them, and you do what.
Yeah, well, it's interesting you say that, because, I mean, like, as an outsider looking in, I think a lot of these people are going to possibly be thinking what I'm thinking here. I don't know whether you go along with that, but I would say that, Beno seemed to look at you like that. You're his, and he would...
like I were his property.
Yeah,
and his property, but he wouldn't directly say... It's not direct, so... When he's expecting you to choose his side, or expecting you to do something that he wants, he's not going to directly say, I expect you to do this. What he'll do is he'll take advantage of the fact that because of your disability, because obviously with autism and stuff, social interactions is like something that's learned. It's not like something what comes native through interactions with people. So he'll take advantage of that, because you don't really have when you first start out, you don't really have an understanding of what friends do. So you don't really have an understanding of what to expect of your friends. So in the sense of, like, if I say I expect my friends to be supportive of me, that you have to learn that that you expect them to be that, and whatever. I don't know if I'm wording it. It sounds like it's going all complicated for me, but I take advantage of it by saying stuff like, if you was my friend, you would send that message. But by sending that message, you're choosing his side. you're choosing if I would have sent you that message, I have then chosen Ben's side. So I've then chosen the position of I support Ben. But I didn't want to choose that position. I wanted to choose the position of I'm independent and I'm not involved in it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the thing is, I mean, Ben may not realise this, but it wouldn't have mattered whether you'd sent me a message saying I'm in support of Ben. I would have said what I would have said, irrespective of you. And you know, if you'd have said no, Matt, you know, it's wrong. You're wrong. I would have gone, sorry, Jordan, you're wrong. You know what I mean? It's like no, because I mean I've got a brain like you've got a brain, and I can make decisions for myself. You know, and it's like when I know something's right, it's right, and when I know it's wrong, it's wrong. You can try and convince me, but if you're gonna go, you're wrong, I'm right, and it's like, but on such petty points as well, like, you know. I mean, Beno has this thing of like he doesn't want his face being seen, and that then goes beyond that to like he then thinks he can decide what you can and can't say about him, like as if there's some sort of unwritten agreement, you know, like that we've made an unwritten pact that I am not going to be able to talk about him unless he gives sanction. And he's got really pissed off because I've just mentioned him, you know, in passing on some of my videos in the past, and he's got really pissy, you know, like going like, you talked about me in a video, and I'm like, and like, was it that negative? Was it horrible, or what was it? You know, because I mean, like, I might, if anything, I might have rolled my eyes and said like, Beno, you know, rolled my eyes, like read between the lines, like, you know, but I've not been out and out horrible, I believe, about Beno in the past, because he's been in my videos. You know, there he is in the videos. But he's decided that he's not happy with the things I've said about him, and that you know, I have no right, and we agree to privacy. And I said, well, I haven't agreed to no privacy. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm being unreasonable in revealing things about him, because I blurred his face out like he wanted, you know, and all this sort of stuff. But when it was getting a little bit more pushy, you know, towards the end, and I'm like, you know, what is it? Where's this going? Like, you know, with this sort of thing. And then on that day I had the kidney stones. I got a really threatening sort of, like, the first thing was a really threatening thing saying, you know, like, I'm not happy about you've talked about me. I'm going to reveal stuff about you that is going to destroy you, and you will be sorry if you spread anything about me. So it's basically like, don't talk about me because I will destroy you. If you talk about me, I will destroy you. You know, and it's like, literally, you know, in those terms. Then sends me page after page after page of, like, you know, things about why he's a good guy and why he's got a right to hang around with Matt Hooper and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, he doesn't really get it. And I mean, I suppose I'm not going to speak for Jordan. He'll have to answer this himself. But I'm like, if somebody's done a shit on you, you tend to be a bit more careful about hanging around with them because they've done a shit on you. But I don't know, like, for people who've got Asperger's, whether or not there's just no filter of, like, caring about that, or whether you have to learn whether you care about it. Because, I mean, tell me, Jordan, would you have to learn as a learning experience, like whether or not it's a good idea to hang around with somebody because they've done a shit on you? And you think, well, I don't care about that, because that doesn't seem like common sense to me. But then, when you're talking about Asperger's, common sense is not. It has to be learnt, right? So tell me, am I wrong there? But common sense, in some respects, has to be learnt. Like friendships have to be, the rules of friendships, and there's a lot of things. But I'm not going to put words in your mouth. But, you know, like, I
personally think this is what I think's happening. Right. Because there's no way that someone rings police on you and talks about being says you a terrorist and stuff, and you don't feel slight anger or any anger whatsoever, and you don't feel disgusted. I personally think since that time when you spoke about him on the live stream, I think he's held it against you because he won't let go of it. He never lets go of stuff. You can't see something could have happened, which you've done, which were wrong of you, or he saw as negative. And 3 years down the line, when you start to talk to him about issues, he'll go, "Yeah, but if you remember 3 years ago, you did this." So what I think is, some people with Asperger's can be very revengey. So when someone's done something to them, what they see as them doing something wrong, they want to get revenge. So I have a slight suspicion, and I think that he knows that Matthew Hooper is against you, right? He don't like you, and he knows that Matthew Hooper found the police for to get
On
to
us
catch
all.
you.
On us all, but it ended up being on us all. Yeah.
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 And I think because of what happened with that live show where you mentioned him, I think he was sort of like, well, I can meet up with Hooper and, as a way of getting back at you.
Jesus, that's dark, if it's true. Yeah. I know this is a hypothetical, but Jesus.
I don't really know.
I honestly thought, right, because I'm naive, I honestly thought that it was just like I've got Asperger's, therefore I don't really care who I'm friends with because it doesn't matter, because they don't understand this like emotional level, right? Again, I don't want to speak for everyone who's got Asperger's, but what I understand is that people who've got Asperger's, sometimes they've got emotions, they've got feelings, but nobody else has. So what they feel is all that counts, right? And like, what they do doesn't matter if it affects other people. What they do doesn't matter. They don't care about other people. Maybe this is why he fucking plays with the settings on cranes, because if it falls on somebody and kills them, he won't lose a moment of sleep over that. But if somebody goes on a forum and calls him a prick, oh, he'll be that will hurt his emotions. Oh my God, he called me a prick. But that's because it's him. That's because it affects him. But what he does when it affects others, he doesn't care what he does to affect others. So, but I don't know if that's true, and that's what I was basing my judgment on. Is like, he's probably gone with this Matt Hooper because he just doesn't know any better. That's what I'm thinking. But like, you just said something now which has made me think slightly in a darker sense, because he's getting me back.
I'm just listing all possibilities.
No, I know. But I didn't think that, see, because I know I think a lot of things, right? I know I think a lot of things, but you making me think like, oh shit, I didn't even consider that. Fuck. And if you're saying that, I'm thinking, shit, how far does this go? How far does this go? Because the thing is, Beno is one of the original people who told me that Matt Hooper was sending photos threatening that he would call the police. And he wasn't the only one, because he sent them to Steve, Exploring Within, who might still be here and can confirm this, right? Because we've all lost these bloody photos now of these screenshots, but we remember them. We remember them because Steve showed me his phone. He goes, look, he's been taking photos of your car and my car and saying, like, I know your cars. And it's because... It's like, well, how is he hanging around these bunkers all the time? Like, what? It's like he's going out, he's taking photos of our cars and then sending them in a like pseudo-threatening way. But then it wasn't pseudo-threatening, because the next lot he sent started to become like, I know your cars. You want to watch yourselves. And then it became like through Beno, which is like through Beno, it was full-blown threat. Like, I am going to report you to the police, blah, blah, blah. Now, the thing is, he's known Hooper for a long time. He's known him for quite some time. What you tell me there makes me wonder whether or not there's been some sort of more of a conspiracy going on here than we know. But
I honestly don't know. Another possibility is that he just don't believe the evidence that was provided to him. There's a million possibilities, but I thought I'd bring that up because that is a ask for just thing where like where if someone does something to you or you're
You've
offended at someone's actions, you feel I have to get revenge somehow.
you
Somehow I have to get
fire
revenge. I can't just leave it. You know?
yeah, fire all your nuclear weapons, salvo everything you got, brum, which is like go to the police, report somebody that he said he was going to punch you, but completely forget that he had threatened me. You know, that's why I said what I did. Completely forget that, because it's a bit weird for me to just out of the blue, even though I didn't really think an awful lot of Beno because of his silly tantrums and bollocks, yeah, I didn't think a lot of him, but I'd actually said, I don't want to go on explores with you again. So I was honest, whereas he wasn't telling me what he thought. I said, I'll be upfront with you here. I don't want to go any more explores with you, Beno, because you're far too quirky. You've got too many little things going on, too many hang-ups. You get upset, you know, like, and I just don't go out to explore with people who are like upset and quirky and, you know, I'm not, you know, all the little things we've talked about, you know, like disappearing on explores and things like that, you know. I'm just like, I just don't need that stress. I just don't need that stress. And I just said, look, you know, good luck on your explores. I wasn't nasty with him. I just said, good luck on your explores, but I cannot explore with you anymore. You know, I cannot.
But then, before that, you've got to remember that in Liverpool and all of that, he's wanting to go to that sea fort, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So if you've said that to him and he's wanting to go to that sea fort, maybe he thought that if he sent you an aggressive message, you'd go, oh, he's gonna ring police and leak my information and I'll take him to that sea fort. You know?
I think he's trying to treat me like he treats you and other people. You know, he's trying to classify me as somebody who can be bullied and threatened into submission. So I will just be his friend and we'll just carry on. I dare say, right, I've met one or two of Beno's friends on the explore. We went down one of the deep level shelters, and I could be wrong, but they seemed like some characters that may have had Asperger's as well. Okay?
Yeah.
And they were quite different to a lot of people you'd normally meet. Let's just put it like that, right? Now, that doesn't mean they were horrible people, but like I had tried to have a conversation with one, but it was just like very blunt. It was like, oh, and it was like, what? You know, and I was like, what? And you just know, you know, like, oh, he's got something, you know, and it's like, so it's going to be hard to kind of like relate in some ways. So I kind of didn't have much more conversation with that bloke because I thought I'm going to trigger him just by saying something normal or asking a question. It was like I think I said something to him like, this is a place to do with something. Look, there's a book here and it says this name of the place. And he went, that's totally wrong. This is not that like that. It's to do with a university or something like that. And he was like, oh. And he was like talking down to me like as if I was a bloody imbecile, you know, like this, you know, young bloke, but like, you know. And it was like, wow. So I just thought, you know, and these are some of the people that Beno sometimes hangs around with, not all the time, I'm sure, but you know, in a circle of friends. And I thought, oh shit, you know. So I thought, well, I'll just stay away from them. Which is exactly what I did. I stayed away from them because I was like, I'm not going to interact with these people in case it gets my bloody head bit off. You know what I mean? So, you know, but you know, it's hard because each person who's like that is going to be different. Some will be really like soft edged, and some will be like really like And in some ways, I know people are going to find this a bit twee if I say this. It's a bit like Sherlock, you know, like the BBC TV series Sherlock. You know, it's like Sherlock is in his own little world. He's got his mind palace, and he's like off there thinking about things, and you know, and like when he comes out with his conclusions, he don't care what you think about it. It's just he's going to do what he wants. You know what I mean? And it's like it comes across very. Well, I don't know the way to describe it. It's very direct, very insistent, and like you don't, you don't matter, you don't have feelings. You know,
that's
that.
what it's like. It's like bitchy women.
Yeah. And like, I'm just telling you how it came across. So the few people I've met that were with Beno that night, I was like, "Ooh, shit," and were those was that the night when we all got caught, and did they disappear off earlier than us? I don't think. No, it wasn't. Was it a different night?
No, that was a different night.
Yeah.
They weren't there when we did that. It was just on the night that we got caught. It was just me, you, Glenn, and Ben.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't like using, like, but you're told like, oh, you can't say these sorts of things. Like I said, I have been pulled up by the police for using the term spurg with Beno, right? But the thing is, in many respects, like I told the police, how else do you explain it? Like quickly and succinctly. Like, she's a Karen, he's acting like a spurg. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't mean I hate all spurgs, because I mean, I hang around with Beno and Jordan. It's a fucking mess up to making it. I hang around. Here he is, Mr. Beno. Right. Yeah, I hang around with Jordan, and Dan Dixon is on the spectrum, right? I mean, like, you don't always realise that people have got these sorts of things, and it's like, but the thing is, right? Yeah, the full moon might pull out. Yeah, that's right. My werewolf may pull out. Yeah, it's all right. I have tablets. I'm on tablets to take care of that at the moment. So yeah. But it's very hard sometimes when you meet somebody who is extremely like that, to kind of explain it to people. So a lot of people on the internet have just gone like, oh, spurg behavior. Now it's like, I don't think it's being horrible. It's just people understand what you mean when you say it, because it's like somebody who's unreasonable in their own world. Like, they're not really understanding your position, they only understand their own position, and like, so everyone else is wrong, they're right, and you can't talk to them about it. It's very hard to talk about it. I mean, what's your sort of feelings on I mean, this is my perspective, and I went out with somebody who was autistic spectrum for fucking 7 years, and it was hell, and I put up with it like Beno, like Jordan's put up with it. I'm fucking doing it again. I'm going to blame the beer, right? So I'm blame the beer. I can't get my thoughts together, right? Right. So anyway, welcome to Beno Computing, right? So I'm really sorry, but no. The thing is, I don't know. Well, they're saying Beno is a narcissist, not ASD. That may be true. Yeah, it's narcissistic.
There was one point where I met up with him, and there was someone who'd come from Germany to meet up as well. And there was a dog on a bus, and I literally just said, "Oh, that dog's cute." And he went, "Right, I'm getting off bus now. I'm getting off it." Dunk belly got off. He got in the street, and I can't. This sounds like I'm making it up. He stood in the street going, "Ah! Ah! Ah!" Running in the middle of the road, jumping about, going in people's gardens. "Ah! You've just said that to provoke me!" "Ah! Ah!" Like proper, like screaming.
Who you talking about now?
Ben.
What?
And he did that. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the guy. I thought you were talking about the guy on the bus. He didn't like you saying that about his dog.
No.
Oh my.
Bad.
Jesus.
And it happened for 5 minutes. It was like 5 minutes of it. Then he finally calmed down, and then we just continued on.
Well, the thing is, people are going to think we're being mean here, because now we're delving into territory of talking about the past. But you have told me a lot of stories like this. But I'm going to have to get another beer, because otherwise I'm going to turn into a werewolf. This is actually medication. So can you entertain people for a couple of minutes? Do you do tap dance? Do you do any tap dancing or anything?
I just do walking down the street.
Okay, all right. I will only be a second. I'm gonna go and get a beer because I need 4 beers. Yes, so I'll be back now.
Okay. Oh dear. But yeah, all about what I've been saying tonight is like stuff that I've put up with in the past. I mean, you know, it all adds up and it gets tiring. And there are some points in time where I'd be saying to like Secret Vault, we'd be like, we'd arrange to meet, and Ben would want to meet up with me, and I'd say, oh, I can't do, for example, Wednesday because I've already arranged to meet Vaults, you know, and it'd be like, I can't just sit at home. I can't sit at home any longer. What are you doing? And I'd tell him, and he'd be like, oh, well, can't you just cancel that and reschedule that? I'd be like, no, I don't do that, you know. There's been like lots of times where, oh, you know, I just don't know what to think about it because it's like 5 years of a friendship thrown away, which is a shame, really. Like Vault kept saying. Oh, I can see him. I can see him flickering on his green screen.
Did I appear mysteriously out of the green screen weirdness?
Yeah, you're like a little flickering thing appearing on the green screen.
Right. Now, Jesus, I'm calling him Beno now. I said Ben Jordan here, right? Because I mean, it's like, sorry, Jordan, I've got this problem now. The dog's here now because she knows I've got this, right? But Jordan always surprises me and makes me laugh a bit because, like, when you see him, he's got his sandwich pack with him because he's very, he's very prepared. Now, I'm not as prepared as he is because he's got a sandwich pack. I normally wrap them in cling film, and then they all fall apart. See, so I have got a sandwich pack, but I forget to bring it with me, right? But he's prepared. He's got his sandwich pack, but his sandwiches comprise of. Do you want to tell him?
Bread and air.
bread, with nothing on it. And no cheese, no butter, no tomatoes, no meat, just bread, because he loves bread, because he thinks it's really great and he loves it. It's just you know what you're getting. There's no messing about, and it doesn't fall apart as well like a sandwich will, because it's just bread, isn't it? But I'm going to try.
I quite like it, mate.
Oh, fair play. If you like something, it's great, isn't it? I like porridge, but like every day would probably get me a bit bored. But right. So the dog's here now wanting some of this. Look, here she is. Right, now I'm going to revolutionise your life because this is bread, but it's not brown bread.
Right.
Look, it's not brown bread, and I can hold it like that, and it's pretty solid. It's called rye bread. I reckon you should try this out and put some of this in your thing because this is tasty. It's a lot tastier than normal bread, and you don't have to put anything on it. This is tasty. Rye bread. I love it. And it smells of malt. Smells malty. So it's good. Try some rye bread. And they sell it in Lidl's, right? And it's only like 50 pence for a pack of that, or maybe a quid or something. I don't know. I think it's cheap. But it's German, right? And you're so semi-German, so you should try this. Yeah. Yum, yum. That is tasty.
How many slices are you meant to eat?
I don't know. It's just really tasty. I have it with cheese. I have a slice of cheese and a bit of rye bread, and you nibble a bit on the rye bread, then nibble a bit of cheese. You don't have to have it on the rye bread. You just like chomp, chomp. But yeah, try some. Yeah. They're saying what with no Branston pickle? That's a travesty. He's unsubscribing. Cool Tools is unsubscribing now. But yeah, I'm just thinking if you like bread with nothing else on it, try this bread. It's really good. And
it doesn't take 2 minutes to just like throw together a lunchbox. So like when I go out and about places, I just think
it's more efficient. You you know, he's like Sherlock Holmes, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not wasting time making sandwiches when all I need is bread." But there we are. That's where you've got to love the Jordan. Love the Jordan. But, oh well. Doggy's worked out. I've got some, so I have to. Nom. It's like there's nothing there, and suddenly somebody just umph. It's just like picking it out of thin air. It's like, here we go then. And then disappears again. Yeah, great. So, okay. Did I miss anything whilst I was getting the beer?
Other than me just saying, like, sometimes when we were planning meetups, he'd get jealous and, like, try and override our meetup by going, I can't just sit down all night, you know.
Well, the thing is, right, Beno, if you're watching, you've got to realise, although you probably
He'll
find
definitely be watching, don't you worry.
Oh, yeah.
He will be watching.
If not now, later on. But the thing is, Beno, you've got to realise, right, you're your own worst enemy because you're making it hard for yourself, right, by not attempting to fit in and by being a bit of a misery guts. You've made this guy's life miserable, right? And you were trying to make my life miserable. And from his perspective, you know, why would you want to go out? Why I don't want to go out with people I don't like or are stressing me out, right? I mean, it's a horrible thing to like go on and explore, and they've got somebody going in your ear and giving you grief.
Yeah, because the thing is, you think this is the purpose of this. The purpose of this trip. This is what I'm going on these road trips thinking. The purpose of this is to have fun, do us lift surfing, do some crane climbing, go on roofs of buildings, to climb up scaffoldings, and just genuinely walk out and see what's there. And if you see something what's abandoned, give it a go, you know, and just go with flow, enjoy yourselves. Just walk about, talking bollocks, and enjoy yourselves, you know. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not thinking, oh, we're going on a road trip for. Yeah, you have not chosen this, because that's what he's basically saying. You know, that's what he's not saying it as direct as that, but that's what he's basically saying.
Yeah. Oh, I think we got Swindon Spastic watching. It's all right, mate. Just log on via one of your other 50 fucking fake accounts because you're such a fucking penis. You got to have 50 fucking fake accounts because you ain't got no fucking real friends, have you? Apart from the dope smoking children you sell dope to. Yeah. There we are. Well, I mean, the thing is, he's had problems with Beno as well. Even Swindon Spastic's had fucking problems with Beno. But the thing is, I got to be. I don't understand quite what went on there, but I think, again, Swindon Spastic don't like other explorers. This is a thing, right? So I don't think he liked Beno because he was unreasonable in the way that he said, I don't have to keep your face out of my videos, but he had agreed to. So without much more of a reason than that, because, I mean, he's not explained there was more of a reason than that. Like with me, I've got some other reasons why I don't want to go and explore with him, because he's a pain in the fucking arse, basically, right? But, like, I haven't heard a really good reason from Swindon Spastic why he had a problem with Beno, apart from he told me he didn't want his face on my videos, and he can't tell me what to do, so fuck him. Well, that's not reasonable. That's not fucking reasonable, is it? Yeah. So, I mean, if he had a good reason, like Beno had done something really drastic to him, then I could understand it. But just saying, don't tell me what to fucking do, fuck you, I'll show your face then, well, that's a bit rude. Now, the thing is, I've done exactly the same. I've shown his face now, but the thing is, it's like with yourself. Once you've been shat on and he's like starting to threaten you, it's like, all right then, well, there's no fucking holes barred now. Then the gloves come off. If you're going to be a fucking dick with me, I'll show your face. Fuck you. And he's even having a tantrum over that, trying to take the videos down off YouTube, complaining about him. You know.
You just have to be like a card deck. It takes it down. You go, you're the dealer. You just need to be a card dealer. Suck it down. Next card. Well, dealers, next card.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Kirby fell out with me because I said to him, if I remember, I basically said to him, look, mate, I don't feel comfortable sitting in your garage with drug dealers coming round.
Oh,
You
so it's
know.
not just me that noticed that then. Oh right, okay. I've not
I
primed
said,
him. I've not primed him to say this, by the way, folks. Here we are. Right. And by the way, we don't mention his name.
Okay, well, the special case. I basically said that to him, and I didn't have a problem. I don't care if I turn up when I'm not there. But while I was there, I didn't feel comfortable with it. So I was just basically trying to say, in future when we meet up, can you let me know if they're going to be turning up so I don't come to you, you know, sit in your garage and blah, 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 or, you know.
And I'm guessing what happened next might have been, don't you tell me what to fuck.
You're calling me a drug dealer! Like that, you know.
But he is a fucking drug dealer. He's a fucking drug dealer. He's a bike thief. He's admitted to the bike thievery. Although at first he was like, I am not a bike thief, stop saying this about me. Then he went and did a video going, I fucking steal cars, and if I stole those bikes, it doesn't matter. It wasn't me, it was my mate. And anyway, he tried to register them in his name. And it's like, well, mate, you've just admitted to it then, you prick. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah. You know, Swindon Spastic's mother buys drugs for him, and he buys drugs. That's all he does every day is find the money to buy some more drugs. And then in order to get money to buy more drugs, he has to sell those drugs to little spastics like himself, right, to get the money for himself, because he doesn't have any form of income. So therefore, how does somebody who's got no form of income get their drugs? Don't think about it too long, you know? Yeah.
I don't think it needs thinking about too long. It's very, it hits you in the face out.
Yeah. So the thing is, I mean, do I give a
possessions?
Do I give a fuck?
Must be going missing.
Lots, yeah. People's possessions must be going missing, and also, I don't normally give a shit about people who are selling drugs, right? Because I know a lot of people over the years who have, but they're not also fucking major criminals on the side. You know, it's like they're doing it in a way that actually does it. You know, they make money from it. That's it. You know. And it's like some of them have even got jobs. It's not their major form of income. So they've actually got a job. This is just something they do on the side. Sometimes they're even doing it just for mates. You know what I mean? But like somebody who's got no money at all and is selling £5 here and £5 there to a few of their friends to make a couple of quid so they can have a smoke themselves is what they technically call, I think if you were to open the law book at page 565, it's called, at paragraph 3, it says, an utter fucking prick, right? That's what it says. That's what you are. So just look up, yeah, that page and that paragraph, and it's like, yes, is an utter prick, you know, because it's like, if that's what, is that all you got to do with your life, is it, right? Or when you're not getting what you want, where's the money coming from? And that's the thing. Where's the money coming from? So yeah.
The thing is, I'm not. To be honest with you, I wouldn't have been that bothered.
You're not used to that, are you?
As long as I wasn't there when it was happening, I wouldn't be bothered, you know.
Yeah, but the thing is, see, I mean, I've worked in nightclubs. I know all that sort of lifestyle. Am I safe in saying you don't hang around with people who are like serious dope smokers and taking drugs, all sorts of drugs?
Yeah.
You don't know. You're not used to that sort of lifestyle. Right?
Well, I don't associate with them.
Yeah.
Normally.
So it's quite something in it when you see somebody smashing themselves, you know, like with drugs. Yeah. I've seen a lot of it, so I kind of know how to take it. But if you're not used to that, it's like being in a room with somebody who's just taken 10 whiskies and now he's like on the floor, and they're hard to have a conversation with, because unless you're doing what they're doing, it's hard to have a conversation with idiots in that state. Yeah. So therefore, I don't blame you in not wanting to be there, but he would have taken that probably as a deep insult, you know, like, what are you saying? I'm not, I
That's
can't.
What he did. He reacted as if I'd insulted his family and everything. That's it was like a big thing.
Yeah, you were saying, what you were saying to him, this is what he would have interpreted it as, because I've seen it 100 times fucking before, is you're saying, I don't want to be here because it's hard to deal with this, yeah? But what they would interpret it is, you're saying I'm shit. You're saying I'm shit. You're saying that.
I wasn't saying that.
No, you weren't saying that. What I'm saying is they interpret quite a casual statement that you make as they see it as you're saying they're shit. Yeah? That they can't function. And their reaction to this is to get defensive and go, and this is a common one, this is really common, it doesn't affect me, I'm perfectly fine, smashed out of my face. It's you, you're the one, not me, I'm fine. In fact, I can function even better on drugs than off.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way their brain works, is because they're trying to defend their stupid lifestyle all the time. They're trying to defend smoking dope. They're trying to defend getting smashed. They're trying to defend taking all sorts of other drugs. And they're trying to defend other weird lifestyles, like breaking into places and stealing stuff and selling it to get your next hit of drugs. Yeah?
Well,
all of that is
even
trying to be justified in their brains, you know?
It's not even the smoking it. Like, he can smoke it as long as he's not near me, so I'm not breathing it in. It will not have the. You've got these random drug dealers turning up, and you don't know about the backgrounds, and you don't know if they're unpredictable at any minute, and all of that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't want to be around these people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it can be quite uncomfortable sometimes. I felt like that, you know. I've felt like some of the people I've been introduced to in nightclubs are complete psychopaths, and when you start speaking to them, they can't wait to tell you they've been inside, and you go, oh, well, what was that for? Oh, well, that was for murder. And you're like, oh, cool, yeah, because you don't want to piss them off, do you? You don't want to go like, oh, you prick, I'm off now, bye. Because they'll take it personally and they want to come after you, and they'll be like, oh, who's he? Who's he? So you're like, oh, right, mate, yeah, man, yeah, okay, cool. And it's like, and you're just thinking, yeah, the sooner I get out of the fucking year, the better. You know? And it's like I've met a number of people like that over the years. I've been introduced to complete psychopaths who don't have any problem with taking you out on a boat and like tying chains to you and chucking you out off the back of the boat. And I've been told a number of stories. And if they're true, they're horrific. And I have to put them out of my mind because I don't want to be thinking about that shit. But I don't hang around with those people anymore. But, you know, it's a different world. It's a totally different world. And it's not an impressive world. It's not a world I am in any way, shape or form impressed with. And Swindon Spastic comes from like the lower levels of impressive, you know, because at least some of these psychopaths are like making money, you know, or doing something and have got a functional life, can drive a car, you know. Spastic is down like, I ain't got a car, I ain't got a job, I ain't got no money, and he's preying on fucking kiddies to get his money for fucking, you know, £5 bags of dope. You know what I mean? Pathetic. And that's why, you know, we're not impressed. And we're not impressed with the other bullshit. Like, you know, he took it personally that you didn't want to be with him. You know, you didn't want to be with him smoking and hanging around his shit and going, yeah, mate, you're brilliant. Because that's what they want. I mean, this is what Beno seems to want, by all accounts. He wants youngsters around him who go, oh, mate, you're amazing. Can you get me another £5 worth? You know, but with Beno, it's like, mate, you're amazing. Can you show me some more lifts? Because these kids are impressionable and they're looking up to, like, older people who can get them shit. And it's just, it's bollocks, really. And I mean, like, Beno has problems with you and me because we ask questions and we have a brain. And that is worrisome. You know, he doesn't like people who sort of like go, hang on a minute, mate. Not sure about that. You know, like these kiddies who said, no, I don't want to go on top of the lift with you. Probably because they don't fucking trust him for a start. They don't trust his lift experience and knowledge. And they probably want to stay a million miles away from that. And a concrete stairs is safe and a Beno lift is not safe. And I wouldn't blame them. Because if they've seen any of his videos and they realise he doesn't really know what he's talking about, you know, and it's like he likes to put it across like he does know what he's talking about, you know, especially if they've seen some of the videos where he's been throwing stuff down lift shafts with kiddies and destroying stuff, you start to go, who is this guy? Is he really a lift lover, or is he a lift take the piss out of person? You know, because he likes to come across like he's a lift lover, But as we know, because their videos are out there, I didn't know about this, otherwise I wouldn't have spent 5 fucking minutes with a guy, right? He's actually a lift vandalizer. Right down to reprogramming them, you know, and changing the settings and then walking away and leaving it. That's pretty much fucking criminal vandalism in my books. You know.
Yeah.
Going to cost that company that own the lift, or it's going to cost £10,000 to get a lift engineer to come in and check everything.
They don't actually reprogram them. They don't reprogram them if the COT settings are changed. They assume that a serious malfunction's happened and replace the board. That's what they normally do. So you'll go to a location where settings have been changed and not put back, and you look in the log card and it'll be like, for example, variable frequency drive malfunction, replaced variable frequency drive, because they'll be like, well, all these values have changed in it. That's not normal. There's something seriously wrong with it, you know.
They can't take a chance. They just replace everything. It's going to cost a lot of money for a lift engineer. The lift engineers are going to be rubbing their hands going, oh, this is loads of money. But the people who own the building are going to get the bill, you know? You know, and people like Beno, they just don't understand the sort of like the level of destruction they leave behind them. They think it's just fun, lift surfing. Well, if it was just lift surfing, it probably wouldn't be so bad. But when it's lift surfing plus programming to change settings so that now you're trying to ride the lift really hard, you know, as you say, it's probably going to end up replacing stuff and costing a lot of money. And I'm just saying, if you're watching, Ben, think about it, because people know what you're like. They've been putting out warning videos about you, and you're attacking them like as if they're the bad guys. I think they're trying to send you a message, but you're too fucking. I dare to use the words that actually I would like to use to describe you. So I'm just going to say retarded. Okay.
You've got to think about it. I don't think they're attacking. I think what's happened, if you think about it logically, is there's been some disagreement and Ben's probably gone. Instead of going, oh, what's the disagreement? He's probably gone, you either do this or else I'll leak and blah, 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 and they're probably gone, right, well, we're only a child. There's not going to be that much impact on me. There'll be more impact on Ben. So what we'll do is we'll just fuck him over then. You know?
Yeah. And the kiddies involved have got him in trouble a few times. You know, so he needs to realise the kids are getting him in trouble. The lifts are getting him in trouble, or if they haven't, they're going to. Because I'm fucking complaining to the police about you. I've got an interview with a police officer tomorrow to actually have a chat about you, Mr. Beno. Because I'm not happy with what I've fucking been seeing. Especially now that you've been making threats that you're going to destroy me. And you've got me in trouble with the fucking police. I am going to be having a chat with a police officer tomorrow about you, sir. Sorry, but like deserves like. And you deserve your little afternoon in the fucking cells and maybe your house being turned over too. So there we go, you know. Because it's pretty serious what you do, Beno. It's pretty fucking serious. You know, just saying. So, you know, it's like if you, like somebody said, let mental health services sort him out. They won't until somebody says what he's done has killed somebody, and then they'll take it seriously, right? But they will not fucking. They're not interested these days. You know, you could be walking around screaming in people's faces. Ah. Yeah, right. Probably pulling your pants down, and the police will come and go, oh, you know, you got to stop doing this, right? Until you actually stab somebody, right? Or a crane falls over, right? Nothing's going to happen. And that's sad, isn't it, really? Because everyone's got a right to be individual these days, even if individual means fucking other people up and costing tens of thousands of pounds in lift repairs and cranes having to probably be checked out and costing a load of money because somebody's been up there going as fast as they can on the crane, not like treating it gently, you know, like literally like cranking it around as fast as they can. Yeah, really? Yeah. But he doesn't get this. He won't get this, even though everyone who's watching this now in the chats will understand what we're talking about here, right? Because it's fairly fucking common sense. Beno will not acknowledge and will not understand what we're talking about. You know, it's just like whoosh, and he'll be can't wait to ring up some kiddies tomorrow to go and do some more fucking lift and crane shit. You know what I mean? It's yeah. But he doesn't put it on his channel anymore, you see, so he knows somewhere in there, he knows that he can't put the videos of throwing shit down the lift shafts anymore and damaging lifts. Because he took that off. So there's got to be something in there, but what is it? Was it just too many people were leaving him negative comments? So
It'll literally just be, oh shit, I've got a negative reaction from this. My reputation, take it down and pretend it never happened.
Yeah,
you know?
Not just pretend it never happened, but actually now rewrite the narrative saying, I love lifts, I would never damage or vandalise a lift. When you clearly fucking have many times. And you filmed it yourself on your own equipment and uploaded it onto your own fucking channel. Yeah? Like anybody with a modicum of common sense would realise that was a stupid thing to do. You know? And people are going to be going, now, where's these videos? They're out there. I'll help you to get to see them if you want to see them. I put them in the previous videos which are on the other channel telling you how to get there. If you go on to the Secret Vaults Unleashed, there's the video on there. But the thing is, he doesn't get it. Now, I'm only saying this, Beno, because I think you need to think about the way you're treating people right now. Like the way you can't treat people like you treat a fucking lift shaft, you know, and throw a fucking photocopier on top of it. Yeah? Because, you know, threatening me and threatening Jordan and threatening a lot of other people is like fucking trying to throw a photocopier down a fucking lift shaft on top of our heads and thinking it's going to make a difference. It doesn't, because we're not a lift shaft. We actually have brains and we fucking climb up out of the lift shaft and then fucking come and get you. Yeah? Not in a physical way, you know, because the whole point of me saying I'm going to punch you in the first place is because I thought, well, what else is going to get through your thick fucking skull? Like I told the police, I was not going to do it, right? But I thought, what else is going to get through this thick fucking prick's skull than me actually saying I'm going to come and punch you? Yeah? Because you're so fucking thick in every other fucking way, yeah? What are you going to listen to? So, right, I'll shut up now. Any thoughts on that, Mr. J? You know, is he somebody who can he actually listen to common sense? Can he listen to, you know, when you tell him, like, I think you're going a bit far?
I think he's listening.
Pull back.
I do think he listens.
He listens, but he chooses to ignore.
He chooses to ignore because it's not suiting him. You know, at that time. It's not information that suits him. So you'll be repeating yourself like a brick wall. Might as well stand in your lounge, and you might as well look at your wall, and you might as well tell you all these problems, because you'll get as much response as you would.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying.
And he comes back and he goes, oh, I don't know why he's been like that. I don't know why he's been like that. And it's like, well, listen to the recording again. And he'll listen, and you'll be blatantly telling him why. And then he'll turn back around and go, I don't know why he's being like that. I'm like, well, listen to it again. Keep listening to it until you do get it. You know?
But, you know, I'm not saying Beno stop surfing lifts. I'm just saying you need to be a lot more, you know, like cognizant of what you're doing, and more so with people than with lifts. You know what I mean? You know, because people are the biggest problem you've got, I think, you know. And you need to make peace with what you've done with lifts, because you've got a lot of enemies out there who, because of the way you've treated them as friends, are now exposing you for what you did with the lifts. Yeah? So the
problem is, the biggest issue is if you threaten to do anything in any way, like expose or phone police or any sort of blackmail, even if it's hypothetical and you're not going to do that, the problem with it is it's still blackmail at the end of the day, and the people when you're in the receiving end of it, you think, I've had that friendship for 5 years, and the moment we have a complicated issue or there's a problem or anything, and the problem's not resolving in the manner that he wants it to resolve, it's
Right.
blackmail time. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, oh, what's happened to that friendship that we've had? What's happened? Has he got no respect? No respect for it. And then he expects us to sit there and honour the agreement of not saying anything publicly or not doing anything publicly after he's just threatened to go and do all of that. You're like, happy? Or you're like, no, fuck him then. People just go, fuck him then. Fuck you then if you're going to do that. You know? That's the mindset they're getting. Because they're so outraged. You just become so outraged. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck? What was that I had for 5 years? What even was it? You start to sit there thinking, what was it? Was it a friendship? Oh, wasn't it? And then you start sitting there thinking more and more, and you start thinking about all of the negative things that happen because you're in that negative mindset then. And then you start feeling like depressed and all of that lot because you're like, what the fuck have I done? Been wasting my time. I've been wasting my time. You know, that's how you start feeling. You know.
Well, I dare say, I mean, you haven't wasted your time because you've had some experiences, but it's also been under duress, you know. It's also been, you know, you've had the experiences, but it's been balanced up with a lot of fucking shit as well, you know, and that's not good. Yeah. Because as you say, you don't come on these things for a shit time, but in his book, it seems like, you know, you're there as a resource to kind of be beat on, you know, and like, you know, he'll throw his angst on you because he gets a lot. I mean, the thing is, a lot of people don't realize this, but he runs a lot of forums and chat rooms and things like this.
I think those failed now. I think those have failed, and he's gone to friend only groups.
Yeah, because I mean, he wants to bring people in, but then these people learn what he's like, and they start distancing themselves. Then he starts making threats, and they all start going, "Well, fuck you then, you know, fuck off. If you're going to threaten me, you know." And they all made like bloody websites going, "This is what he's done to me."
This is how petty it gets. This is the level of pettiness it gets to. Let's say someone joins his server, for example, basically his chat room, and then someone else decides to create a chat room, or someone who's fallen out with him creates a chat room. Anything. Someone else creates a chat room, or someone who is fallen out with creates a chat room. It gets to the level where it's, you've joined this chat room, you've created this chat room, right, you're as bad as him now, you're just a troll. And then he kicks him out, you know. He kicks him out and doesn't want out to do with him and goes down blackmailing and all of that. So
yeah. He sounds like the exact sort of person who shouldn't be running these sorts of you know, places, because I mean, I've had run-ins with people on chat rooms before, and they're so bloody inflexible, you know, and they don't want to hear what you got to say because they're not interested. They've just got, you know, they're control freaks. So I mean, like, you know, Ben is a bit of a control freak, I think, by the sounds of it. It might, you know, it might be because he doesn't know any other way. But my message to you is this, Ben. If you want to have any friends that are real long-term friends, whereby you're not making them feel awkward and you're not making them feel shit, trying to put up for your shortcomings with the way you behave, right? Because, right, a lot of people, they kind of don't know how to take these situations and they make excuses and they try to work with people, but you're hard to work with. So, I mean, you've got to ask yourself, right, do you need to modify the way you're going about these things? Yeah. Because you don't seem to have many friends on your side right now. And the way you're doing stuff, you know, and like, it doesn't come across as respectful to friends or to lifts or a lot of things, you know. It doesn't come across as respectful. But as long as nobody knows what you're really up to and you can hide it and now you're this new person, you think people are going to like not believe that you're still doing all that stuff? That you're not still wrecking lifts and you're still trying to hang around with kids? I mean, Beno, the writing's on the wall, mate. You had a child abduction order given to you by a police officer because you took the police officer's son out and trained him in how to vandalise and fuck up lifts. Yeah? Something along those lines. Yeah? And it came back to haunt you because you got a child abduction order against you. Did you stop hanging around with kids after that? Did you fuck? So how many warning shots across the bow have you got to have before you get it? Stop hanging around with the fucking kiddies, right? Start hanging around with adults and learn how to behave with adults. Don't go, oh, it's too hard dealing with adults, so I'm going to hang around with kids. Because the way I'm reading it is, yeah, the reason you hang around with kids is because it's easier than hanging around with adults. I think you missed the point.
Slick.
I think you missed
the problem with kids is
they are
slick.
slicking.
They see him as it's Beno, he's a big celebrity. You know, that's why. So he don't have to. Anything that he says goes. There's no debate about it or anything. He says it, and they agree. Yes, Beno. Yes.
The thing is, they're taking his word on it, like some sort of like as if he's a lift engineer, that he knows what he's talking about. It's like me taking out children in an aircraft when I didn't have a pilot's license. You know what I mean? And just going, it's all right. As long as we land it, as long as we manage to bounce it and land it. There you are. There you go, Mrs. Jones. And she goes, well, it did look a bit rough. Oh, yeah, those winds are terrible up there, Mrs. Jones. And, you know, you live in a fucking lie. You live in a lie. Now, most people, I've met people who don't have pilot licenses and flown aircraft, right? There used to be a chap who was in the airfield that we were at, and we all used to go, hoo-hoo, it's going to go very wrong. And I used to say to everybody else, it's like, well, you know, how come he hasn't been reported then, right? And there was a flight, what do you call it? Like not flight lieutenant. It's the head, right? I'm not going to say where or what. A head of a military department, right, was there with his aircraft. And we are all turning a blind eye to the fact that we have a pilot there who is taking the piss and breaking airspace and he's the type of person who you hear the reports about. Somebody flew into our airspace and we didn't find out who they were, and then we had to divert aircraft. People, didn't get to land and, like at their airport because they were delayed, and delays going on because of like idiots, because there are people who are flying aircraft who don't have a license and they don't understand they're busting airspace, right? Well, there you go, and we're all turning a blind eye to it, and it's like, well, I'm not going to be the one to report it because nobody else has. And it's like, and that's the way it was. I never did. Nobody ever did. And the guy in the end, he gave up because he was so stressed, because he knew himself what he was doing was wrong, and he knew because he'd heard him on the radio saying, who's this guy, somebody get up there and find out where he's coming, follow him, see if you can find, and he came down, and do you know what the wanker asked me? He said to me, Matt, I've heard they're trying to track me down, can you say it was you? I've got a fucking pilot's license, and the guy is asking me to take a fucking hit on my pilot's license, a serious hit, because he can't be fucking asked to go and get his pilot's license. Maybe he's dyslexic, maybe he doesn't like exams. It's not my fucking problem. I never told you to get behind a fucking in an aircraft and go and buy an aircraft and then start flying it. Oh, look, Mum, I can do it. And every time you make a mistake, you don't know what you're doing because you've not been told what the mistake is. You've not been told how to do it, right? And you're shitting your pants. Well, guess what? Beno doesn't have a conscience like that. So he can fuck up as much as he wants. And to me, it appears like he hasn't got the scared. Yeah? He just does it. That's what worries me. And what I say to you, Beno, is, right, you need to be a little bit more fucking humble, right? And stop it with the fucking threats and stop it with the fucking ringing the police and all this shit, yeah, right? Because it's going to come down on you now because it's coming back home to fucking roost, yeah? And I'm going to make sure they know exactly what you're doing, right, in your hometown, where you live. The police, right? I'm going to do that for you as a public fucking service. Because quite frankly, I should have done it with that fucking pilot, right? But I'm going to fucking do it with you. Because there's a difference. That pilot might have asked me to shit on myself, and I said no thanks. You didn't give me the fucking option. You just took the fucking shit on me. Thank you very much. So now you're having it back. Fuck's sake. Yeah. Anyway. So, you warm enough in your car? You alright?
Yeah. It's just like, you know, I don't understand, like, to me, if someone was telling me all of these stories, it sounds so unbelievable that someone's like that. You know?
Yeah, I agree. It's like, do you believe this shit exists? Yes. Yeah. I've met a lot of people involved in the urbex community, and the more and more I'm meeting, the more I'm worrying about whether or not they're on some sort of, like, you know, mental health fucking thing, like, you know, whether they even know it, whether these people even know it or not, you know. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, because Jordan's very well adjusted, and you know, he's kind of like, I think you're probably easily persuaded to do things in the past you probably shouldn't have done. And I've seen you fucking doing some dangerous shit as well. Like, you went on the top of that bloody lift with no cares in the world at Techno Towers. A lift that had been burnt in a lift shaft.
The difference is it me taking the risks, I have to deal with the consequences of it. If you're taking
Sort of,
know?
because I would have had to have fucking rung 999 and said he's dead. Yeah. Yeah, he's dead, and I would have been fucking there, like, picking up parts of your fucking body at the bottom of the shaft. Yeah. Yeah.
It was completely burnt out. It was just like, it was literally just the frame, and that was it.
It was a frame,
left of it.
no floor on it, just 4 pieces of metal, like a box, yeah. And he just goes in the lift shaft and jumps on it and goes, oh yeah. And I'm like, don't be doing that. This hasn't got a cable. It's no cable. You're trusting these brakes. What? I couldn't believe it.
The fire had got so hot. The fire had got so hot.
There was no cable.
The walls.
The walls were bending. The walls were bent because of the heat.
And you think those tracks are that thick, you know?
And he just jumps on the lift thing that's there, and I'm like, bloody hell. Now, that's the only thing I worry about, see, right? I don't know, you know, because I
don't have a sense of danger, that's the thing.
You don't have a sense of danger. Is this part of the condition, or what? Because I think you need to get...
I actually don't know.
Yeah. You know, we got somebody now who's like assumed the identity of our matey boy in the chat. But I mean, you know, whether it is them or it isn't them, it doesn't really matter. The points, you know, need to go through to the recipient at the end of the day. But do you do some of these things because you don't have a fear? I mean, a lot of people would love to not have a fear of climbing, like, all the way up a crane and stuff like that. But is it something to do with, like, your condition, or is it just like that's you as a person? Do you think that other people who've got Asperger's, just unless they've been told it's dangerous, they don't know it's dangerous?
No, I think I've seen other people with Asperger's being scared of heights and stuff.
Right.
And
okay.
I think it's just a quirk of me. I think I'm just like, sometimes I just get into that mindset where if it drops, it drops. If I fall through it, I fall through it, you know.
Well, I hope it doesn't happen, but there's no point in chancing it, surely, with something that's so badly damaged. Like,
I just couldn't believe it. I was just like enjoying the frame, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, but like, if it was down at ground,
down.
Yeah, no. If you like manage to like knock the burnt out rubbers off so it dropped to the floor and examined it, I would understand. But examining it like at floor 4 or 5, you know, like with yourself in it, with no floor in it, you can literally look through the center of the lift. There's no floor. Oh my
I think
god!
my shoe got stuck in it at one point, didn't it?
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought I actually recorded it as well. I thought I thought I had it filmed somewhere. Going, can I actually believe what I'm seeing here? This is insanity.
You were like, bloody hell, there's just a frame left and he's jumping on it. And I'm going, yeah, look at how solid it is. And I'm actually stood there jumping.
Trying to get it to go, and if it had gone, that would have been Jordan. That would have been the end of Jordan. And he's there, and it was like, please think about those things, because I mean, like, please think about those things in the future, because it would be a hell of a shame to lose you just because of not realizing that actually, you know, that's not a safe thing. You know,
I think I did realise. I think I was just trying to push it. I was just pushing it with my luck, you know.
Yeah. Okay. You know, but because I mean, like, you know, even Beno, you know, as much as he's a dick, I mean, it would be nasty to like hear that he'd fallen down in something and the rest of it. But you know, it's but both of you, that you don't seem to have that sort of fear factor, like climb up a crane, you know, and he's like, oh look, I can just whiz the crane around, and it's like, you gotta you know, like, not so much you, but I think, you know, he has to realize there's limits to what you can do, like, you know. Otherwise, all right then, Beno, jump in an aircraft, just go for a fly, start it up, you know, just start it up, go for it, yeah. See how far it gets you. You know, you may end up dead. If you're really lucky, you won't. But see how far it gets you. You know.
But surely if it were going wrong, you could just fly it low to the ground and jump out of it. Get it really slow. And
You
jump
think,
out of it.
but how would you get it really slow? Because if you get it really slow, it's going to stall and just fall out of the air. So therefore, it's going to crash before you can get out of
couldn't
it.
you get it to stall? Could you not like get it low to the ground and get it to stall, and just before it starts to fall to the ground, jump out of it? Or has it still got lots of airspeed?
Well, most aircraft, like microlights, 40 miles an hour. Would you jump out of a car at 40 miles an hour and expect not to get hurt?
You would get hurt, but if I thought that I were gonna die, I'd rather chance that than hit the floor in the aircraft.
But if you weren't in the aircraft in the first place, you wouldn't even have to worry about it. You know? Right,
No, my car's
okay.
gone on power save.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Got to tell it not to activate the alarm again.
Oh, okay. So most aircraft, like Cessnas, right, the rotation and stall speed is very close. It's probably about 60 mile an hour stall and 70 mile an hour to normally fly. So then, can you imagine jumping out of a car on a motorway at motorway speeds?
I have thought about that in the past. I thought, what would it be like if I were on motorway and I jumped out? And I thought, would my car keep going? And and I've been thinking, like, I thought,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
thinking, what would my car be thinking when no one sat in it, just going? Because it would
probably be like this.
The airbag.
It'd probably be like this. It'd probably be like, why aren't you my friend anymore? That's what probably the car would think. Literally, like, have you destroyed our friendship or something? Like, getting out of me at high speed. What's the matter with you? Did I offend you?
Because there's that metallic plate in the seat, isn't there? If you take the upholstery off, there's that clear sheet with like metallic plates what tell it when someone's sat in the seat. So it'd know that you aren't sat in it anymore. So do you think it would stop, or do you think it'd just keep going in it?
No, it'd keep going. Absolutely keep going. It would keep going. I would probably veer to the left or veer to the right. It would hit other cars and it would take other cars out, which could lead to deaths.
But you won't see it crash because it'd have gone that far away if it were going at 70.
It'd probably go a bit far away from you, but you probably would see it crash. If you were on a road with not many cars, it might veer off and hit the barriers and spin a bit, and other cars might manage to brake in time and not hit it. But chances are it probably would end up quite badly. And the thing is that the odds of it ending badly mean it's not worth it trying. It's definitely something.
I hadn't actually thought of trying it, but like
No.
but I've just been thinking like hypothetically in my imagination, like
It's the sort of thing you should send through to Mythbusters, right? Or like, and get somebody else with a stunt team to actually do it. Say, what would happen if I jumped out on a motorway at 70, right? But they'd be wearing like proper body gear and armor, like you'd get if you were riding a bike, yeah. And they'd probably be able to do it in such a way that they're not injured. But then you see what the car does, and they probably do it 3 or 4 times to see what the car does, and it would probably not end well in many ways. Yeah, yeah.
Because if you think, like when I've been sat on motorway and I've opened my door just to see what happens, the wind pushes the door shut again.
Yeah.
So the door would shut behind you. Because sometimes when I've been on motorway, I thought, well, the wind didn't give me enough fresh air, so I'll open the door, and you're like, with seatbelt on, trying to open the door, and then you get it fully wide open. But to keep it open, you have to sit there holding the door open, otherwise it blows back shut. You know? It's funny. Sometimes it's funny to hold onto the steering wheel and watch all of the little, like you've got those little details like stone marks in the tarmac. You can watch them whizzing past at high speed through the door. I've had it before where I've had door open in my old car and the wind has blown the door shut and doors hit me in the face as it's shut, you know, and I've been left with like a bruise on my forehead from where the door's blown shut.
I guess when you were learning to drive, they didn't teach you that part about not leaving the car when it's moving or opening the door when it's moving.
I was still strapped in. I was just like the door opening. I was just looking at the road markings going past really quick.
Yeah.
When you're looking forwards on motorway, they go past at a quick rate, but they look quite slow. But if you look at them like that out of the door, they're like whoosh, 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 you know.
Yeah. Yeah, Mega Hayes has just pointed out that Jordan's tip of the day is open a car door on a motorway for fresh air. It's not a good idea, really.
You build some muscles. You do build muscles.
Oh yeah.
It open.
Oh yeah. I was going to say, because the thing with aircraft, the only time I've like heard something similar is when they're saying if you're going to crash in something like a Cessna, it might be a good idea to open the door before you hit the ground, and because it will push itself closed because the air is probably going to be doing 70 miles an hour minimum, that it won't want to stay open. As you're saying with a car door, it won't want to stay open. But with an aircraft, when you crash, because there's not going to be many people around to get you out, you might want to try and open it with all your force and get a boot, get your shoe off and jam it in the door so that it stays a little bit open, and then when you crash, the door may fly open, or at least when you crash, it's not locked, so that when you might be able to get out of it. It's a technique that they use, but I've never heard this applied to on a motorway where you probably wouldn't want to go out to the driver's side of a car.
But you're strapped in, so you can't come out of it. You're just looking at the road markings with your head poking out.
I know, but you know, if you do end up coming out of that car, you know, you're going to get run over by another car or a lorry or various other things, you know, that probably don't make it a very good idea. I would just say probably not a good idea in general, and yeah, don't do it. But I take my hat off to you for this amazing story.
The road markings go past in your car.
Yeah, but like, but not opening the door, like maybe out of the window, like for a second, and then I'm like, right, I never really need to do that again.
You can't get a close up view of it opening the window, like opening the door. You can put your head down a bit and put seatbelt a bit, so you can get a good look. You know.
I can't say I've really felt it was necessary to do, but okay.
Just make sure you're on a straight stretch of road. I'll just do.
With no other cars around, like a completely empty motorway, hopefully, not like in normal driving conditions. maybe.
I was hoping that the seat occupancy sensor would notice that no one were in car and it'd just put engine out if there's no one sat in driver's seat when it's going.
I think you might get a bing bing telling you whether you got your safety belt on, but that's about it really. Yeah. Why would you? I tell you what, right? You need to get the service manual for your car. Desperately need to get the service manual for your car, because you'll find out what exactly your car will do under certain conditions and what it won't do. Experimenting with it when you're on a motorway is probably not the best way to learn what triggers under certain conditions. But I'm glad you shared that with us, because that's just legendary. But I hope it's not that sort of legend where then the person dies and they become a legend into history. Yeah, because a lot of legends go like that, don't they? They end up dead and like become proper legends then. Yeah. There we are, exploring with Tinsk. I don't know if Jordan is being serious or just winding us up. Nor do I, but I think he's being serious. I do actually think he's being serious. I don't think he's like a legendary comedian here that's just like thinking this is funny. Yeah. I think he's being serious, and I think we all need to sort of like embrace the fact that, yeah.
Nearly had someone crashing into the side of my car today on motorway. I just pulled off slip road, went straight across 2 lanes and thought, right, we're going fast lane, outside lane, but little did they know I was sat there and I was just holding my arm down and nearly crashed into my passenger door.
Jeez, well, this is why if you've got your door open and your head's down there looking at the cat's eyes going past, yeah, right? If that happened at that moment, you'd probably get your head crushed, you know, in the door or something, and it's like that's why it's not a good idea. I am guilty of taking my eyes off the road for a little bit too long, like, you know, doing silly things or something, you know, and then going, oh shit, because something's nearly happened. The time for reaction on motorways and driving is so short.
I used to watch Netflix on road. When I first passed, I was on a long drive and I got bored, so I put my phone where my instrument cluster was and I put Netflix on and I was just like that. Every 15 seconds I looked back up.
15?
Yeah.
Beno, sorry. Fucking hell. Jordan, you're fucking me up here. Seriously, don't be saying too much like that, because I think somebody's going to be wondering about whether you should have a fucking driving license if you're not careful.
I don't do that now, but when I first passed.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, he wouldn't do this sort of thing. He would never do this sort of thing now, folks. I mean, no, he would never. No.
Well, I had a what do you call it? A little scary thing where traffic stopped and
you were looking at Netflix and you nearly hit the back of somebody else's car, right? Okay.
Yeah, my car nearly gave someone else's car a really good kiss, like an over obsessive kiss, which would have resulted in the boot being dented in, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
And I won't be watching Netflix because I'd be headbutting Netflix like that, you know.
Yeah. I thought that this guy here was not the real deal, which is why I wouldn't let him on, because I couldn't see his face. I was like, hey, somebody's nicked his name. He's got no voice. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How you doing? Oh. The audio's very bad, mate. You're very quiet and we're only hearing occasional blips. Now, don't go spending 15 seconds looking at us now, like Netflix, right? That's all I'm going to say is, like, concentrate on the road.
Is that better?
Well, I can hear you. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Very quiet, but we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Have you been listening to Brady's road tips? Surely you need to have a look at inspect some cat's eyes now. If you open your drawer hard enough, doing 70 miles an hour, you could probably get your door open a bit. You could inspect these cat's eyes really close up, put your head down close to the ground, and just check them out. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a news article. There's a news article about lift surfing on the mirror.co.uk.
What, brand new?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
21st of August. Young kids risking lives. In incredibly dangerous new lift surfer YouTube craze.
It's a YouTube craze because people like Beno have been trying to get young people involved in it. Yeah.
I'll send you it on WA now.
I think I've seen it, actually. I think I've seen some stuff in the last couple of days, and yeah, it wasn't good. How you doing?
Oh,
Yeah, go on, B-Face. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going wild. How do I can post it in our private chat here.
Well, you can post it in the chat channel if you want. Or well, if you post it in the private chat, I'll repost it in the main chat. Here we are. Look. Right, copy link address. There we go. Yeah, Jackie Green sent it to me. That's right, Jackie Green sent it to me because I've read it because I knew somebody'd sent it to
young
me.
As 10?
Yeah, well, 8. We know that Beno's been out with people who are like 8 years old. I mean, it's like, what? What next? Like 5 years old? What, pushing him in a pram to show him how to go on top of a fucking lift? I mean, like, come on. You know, it is ridiculous. If you're watching Beno...
Getting a bit out of hand.
You know, like, come on. You know, do you literally want to be the guy who gets children killed doing lift surfing? I mean, it's different as an adult. You know, it's like, it's different. And people go, well, at least he kind of knew what he was doing. He was a bit silly, but he knew what he was doing. But your kids, you will never be forgiven for that. You get a massive jail sentence. You know, and you're going to be fucked in the showers every single fucking day. You know? It's like, that's the way it's going to be, and you can, and you're a fucking thin little wisp of a thing, and you won't be able to say no, mate. They'll be sticking it right up your fucking arse. So think about it. You know, there ain't going to be like, oh, Mr. Police Officer, he fucked me in the arse in the showers. It's going to be like, oh, they're going to fuck you twice as hard in the showers next day. So, yeah. But, yeah, don't bring kids into it. Yeah, they're saying, like, what lies beneath Urban Explorer? Just don't bring kids into it. This is why a lot of people who, like, you know, I know it's youngsters who are, like, writing to me a lot of the time because you can tell by the way that they're structuring the emails. And I'm like, no. And I'm like, do you actually watch my channel? You know, because they said, like, I really like your stuff. I want to come out and explore with you. It's like, fuck's sake, you sound like a child, you know? It's like, you know, only childs would write this shit, you know? Children would write this shit. And I have to say no. I have to say no for obvious reasons, because it's like, it's dangerous when I do it. I'm not taking children out with me. I don't like children, for a start. They piss me off, you know? And it's like, B, I don't want responsibility for somebody else's fucking kid. You know, if it goes wrong, which it probably will, even if it doesn't go wrong, you know, if somebody finds out what you're doing, they'll be like, you know, like, what are you doing with kids? And it's like, well, I'm not even saying I'm entertaining the idea. It's just like, can you imagine how horrific that would be? That's just like, no, I'm not even entertaining the thought in my head because I hate kids, and no, I'm not taking responsibility for other people's kids. I mean, everyone who goes out on urbex with me, I like to think they know the risks they're taking, apart from Mr. I jump in lift shafts that have got, like, no bottom on the lift. But, you know, I'll say, well, look, at least I've got evidence here. I mean, look, we did a live stream where he's like, yeah, I knew I was pushing it, but I just thought I'd do it anyway. It's like, well, there you go, folks. I didn't force him to do it. It was not me. Jesus.
Yeah, I can't believe, like, they're going into if you say it's as young as 8, they're going into single figures.
Yeah. And the
Could
thing
you
is,
imagine, like, an 8-year-old? Like, I couldn't imagine my 8-year-old cousin going lift surfing. I wouldn't
no.
even want, because you know what the minds are like. They're very unpredictable, and they're very, those environments aren't for that sort of age
I mean,
range.
the thing is, it's like taking extreme sports to a whole new level. It's like when people send like kids down on a zip line or something. I mean, the amount of effort that's been gone into to making those things as safe as you possibly can, right? Well, that's not happening when Beno's taking kids on top of a lift. It's like, well, I say I know what I'm doing because I say I am, because I am what I am, which is what somebody who's just buggered about with lifts to the point where you can get them to move. Yeah, great one. Yeah, like, and you're taking other people's kids out. Mate, they would throw away the fucking key. And do you know what? I'll be sitting there in the back of the fucking court going, yes, when you get fucking put away. Because it's just, don't go there. Do not fucking go there. And if you're fucking around with public lifts where other people are going to travel in them afterwards, anyone gets injured in that lift, it's going to be they're all going to point the finger at you. Anyone gets injured in that fucking lift, it's going to be you. So, well, good luck with that one. Grandmother breaks leg because lift was travelling really fast and stopped immediately and broke her hip and her leg. Beno, into court you go. You know what I mean? It's not funny. It's not. It ain't funny. I mean, I suppose seeing Beno get fucked over for it might be funny, but there's going to be like, we're going to be laughing whilst we're fucking crying. It's not funny, really. It's going to be like, it's going to be like, it's not. I know it's going to
be that, like, your impersonation of it. It'll be like grandmother goes in lifts and it's like, and she breaks her hip, and that's sort of laughing at. I'm not laughing at the actual.
They're going to be going, what went wrong with the lift? And the lift engineers are going to be called into question. Then the lift company is going to be called into question. Then they're going to probably find out that there's some video out there of this guy who was surfing the lifts. And then they're going to be going, oh, actually, now we know what fucking happened. You know what I mean? Well, Ray Townsend says Beno needs to go to prison. I think he needs to realise he's surfing danger. He's not surfing lifts. He's surfing fucking danger with his own fucking liberty. Because... there's enough evidence out there to show that he doesn't understand right from fucking wrong. He doesn't understand that fucking lift surfing is not lift vandalism, right? So, unless he's going to kind of realise it and start behaving himself, it's going to go fucking wrong. It's going to go really fucking wrong. And I think he's lucky. He's really fucking lucky so far. Android69 is saying, why can't YouTube shut his account down? Well, some bloke tried to fucking do that, but Beno just turned on the warpath and went, he's a fucking bastard. What's the matter with him? Why are you trying to stop, like, us having fun? And it's like, and he just went on the fucking warpath with this guy, like, fucking, you're not fucking right, mate. There's fucking something wrong with you. And it's like, this guy was just saying, I'm a lift guy that fucking does a magazine about lifts, and lifts are about engineers and professionals and doing it within health and safety, and Ben was like, what's wrong with you, what's your fucking problem, and all that. And it's like, really Beno, you don't get it, do you? It's like, if you don't have a driving license, don't be on the fucking road. If you're not a lift engineer, don't be fucking around with the settings. If you're not a fucking pilot, don't be flying aircraft. If you're not a fucking astronaut, don't be fucking firing yourself in a rocket up to fucking space. It's like, don't be fucking doing it. Otherwise, you're going to become a fucking statistic. Yeah. Tracy Jackson says, good evening, Matt. How are you? Beno needs to go to prison. But I hope it doesn't come to that, because I don't think he's going to do very well in prison. I don't think he will do very well in prison. There's a lot of people I think probably wouldn't, and he's one of those. You know what I mean? It's just, you're trying to head off a bloody train wreck, right? Basically, here. It's like, trying to talk to somebody who won't listen because they're too stupid to fucking listen. But it's just trying to head off a train wreck. you know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go get another beer. B-face, do you want to take the helm? Oh, Exploring with Brady's back on. I'll mute it for a minute because I'm going to go downstairs and I'll listen to you then. No. Is nobody moving or saying anything? Oh dear. Right, give me a minute then.
My lack of sleep starting to come through. Like, you know. I'm just closing some tabs in the background.
What's going on here then? Are you moving? Is he not moving? Is it just me?
What do you mean?
Oh no, you are moving. Well, your picture was frozen and there was no sound, so I assumed there's something had gone wrong with the internet. So I'm going to put my headphones back on to get the sound working again.
I opened another application on my phone. I opened YouTube to take a sneaky little peek.
And it freezes the screen.
I open YouTube, it goes. It is no longer on Chrome. Chrome is no longer accessing the camera. YouTube is the active window. And that's how it does. So it's like and then obviously StreamYard just acts like I'm not getting a video feed. It's just cut off. So it just shows the last picture that it got. So the last picture it got was just me going, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose it'll time out eventually, but that's what it does.
Yeah. I just think it downstairs now. I mean, it feels like I'm being a twat for what I'm going to do tomorrow and making the report to the police. But at the same time, it's like if you don't get it this time, Beno, there's not much hope for you because you're never going to get it. Right? If you don't get it this time, really, because I mean, you're getting. How old are you now? How old are you? And you're behaving like you want to hang around with kids, and you're behaving like none of this is going to catch up with you ever, even though you've put out all these videos of you doing this shit, really, and you're pissing people off left, right, and fucking centre, and you're thinking none of it's going to fucking come back on you. Really. It doesn't give me pleasure. It does not fucking give me pleasure. But I'm going to have to do it because, like I said, I'm
things are gonna do it to you, you know.
What you know, you are fucking reporting me to the fucking police, you know, and I'm having my fucking house turned over, and you think I'm gonna just take that on the fucking chin? No. We're gonna see whether you like it. We're gonna see how you fucking handle it, and whether your mother fucking is very impressed with you, you know, fucking having the house raided and fucked over, and yeah. And Android69 says you're not a twat if it's for public safety. So my conscience is going to be clear. It's probably going to be as clear as your conscience, Beno, because you don't give a fuck, yeah? I'm really not going to give a fuck because I'm thinking, well, do you know what? If it helps you understand, right, that everything in your little fucking world is going to get flushed down the fucking pan if you're not careful, right? Because you're not fucking with Spurgs now, right? You're not fucking with Spurgs. You're fucking with me, yeah? And I'm a bit like different level, So you want to fuck with a bull, you're gonna get the fucking horns. So yeah. So, we'll see how you can take it, because you can fucking quickly fucking deal it out. So let's see how you can fucking take it. Yeah. And I provide this as a free public service. Any urbex cunts out there, right, who can't fucking handle, being a normal human fucking being, I will educate you as a free public service. Yeah. If you need it, I'm quite happy to provide that. So there we go. But there we go. Was it worth coming out to the house and having to sit down in the car and chatting about Beno? Oh my God! What is wrong with me? What is fucking
we
wrong?
have come out of the house and started chatting about Beno, haven't we?
What? But do you know what? Right? Do you know what? That is just like so weird. That is so weird, because it's almost like it's the thing you don't want to say and your brain is making you say it, and it's what you don't want to say. And I've done it like so many times this evening. It's becoming like, oh, what's wrong with my head? Because it's like, of course I know you're not Beno, but it's like, because we've been talking about him so much, when I'm speaking to you, the fucking, oh my God, that's not, I hate shit like this. I hate shit like this. It's like a brain spasm, like a brain failure. Right, I'm sorry, Jordan. Jesus. But you see me do it sometimes when I'm on videos, right? If any of you have noticed, right, when I'm on a video, there's quite a lot of putting in the wrong word for something I mean to say. It's almost the right word. It's almost the right thing, but I put in the wrong word. Like I'm saying, like if I say like, oh, we'll go upstairs and look at the lift shaft. I'll say like, we're going upstairs and we're going to look at the lift hole or something like that, or something. It's like, and it's just like, what he meant to say shaft, but he said hole. And it's like, and then when I'm watching the videos and I'm editing them afterwards, I'm like going like this. What did I can't believe I said that. And it's like, I know a lot of people make mistakes when you're speaking like to an audience and you're doing a live presentation. You don't realize you said things like, you definitely would want to put your hand in the fire. You said you would want to put your hand in the fire, when what you meant to say is you don't want to put your hand in the fire. But when you play it back, you totally said you do want to put your hand in the fire. I find myself doing it a lot, and it's like, yeah, anyway, so that's what I'm saying, is like, I'm so sorry I'm making that mistake. Yeah. Matt is Jordan and Jordan is Matt. Okay. Yeah. Like when you didn't know what a jet ski was. So this must have been a moment of stupidity when I said something like, oh, what's this? What's this? Yeah. Scrinton says, Matt, be careful. Is this child Beno worth the aggro? Not really. He won't learn. I don't think he will. He's one of those, he won't learn. He won't learn. And he'll up the ante, and I'll up the ante, and we will both meet each other in hell. And there we go. So, But I'm just letting people know, because I mean, like, I don't normally wander into things like, reporting to the people to the police lightly. Yeah. But yeah, in this case, it will be a fucking pleasure. So, yeah, Scrinton says, I honestly think Matt is beyond giving a fuck. Yeah, you are right. I am beyond giving a fuck, and it's time to give it to them now. Yes, absolutely, epic gaming moments. And by the way, if you are who I think you are, I'm very sorry for the assault on the swear words, and it's far past your bedtime, So your dad is responsible for letting you watch this channel, and I'm terribly sorry, but yeah. 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 Oh, I'm just looking at the chat, really. Put one of my
I'm getting a
A4.
bit tired, so I might head off now, to be honest.
Fair shout.
I'm
I
just
mean-
sat here with like a drone, just like pulling faces at the camera, just looking smiley and all that. But
You
conversation.
froze for a while, so we didn't see any of it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just like sat here and I'm listening to you, but then like 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh, what did he just say? What were we on about? And I've lost the conversation, and I'm listening and like.
Well, it is late, and I've had a drink, and I quite fancy the idea of getting off now to bed and watching some more of this Kolchak, the Night Stalker, which was one of Gareth Davis's favourite shows, which he put me onto, and now I'm slowly going through and watching them, and I'm realising I really like this guy, this actor Darren McGavin, because it's a hoot. It's a real hoot. It's like, you know, comedy versus horror. I love it. It's great. Well, Bill Deacon says, why is Beno so obsessed with Matt? I mean, well, maybe because he wants to destroy what he can't control, you know. So therefore, yeah, Jordan's entered that arena, you know. He can't control me, and I've told him I don't fucking really respect what he's doing and don't like him, so he's gone on the fucking warpath now, you know. But he's going to get it back. So, yeah, I think you're all learning on this channel now. Yep, if you want some shit in your life, send me some shit, because I will play a nice fucking game of tennis with you with that shit. Yes. Yep. Well-known unknown says, how much has been raised for Mindset Central? It's about £600. It's probably gone to about 620 this evening. I shall check for you now. Let's just have a quick look. I'm guessing, but right. And I've decided, for good or for worse, that I'm going to send the money two ways to the American family. Oh my God, £678. Unless some of that is for me, because I've got to go through it and work out, but it's probably all for Gareth. But there have been one or two payments which have been for me, so I have to read the comments. But yeah. Oh my God. No, hang on. Oh, I was going to say that's money in. I was going to say 691. I just read 678. No, that's money in. That's the lower thing on PayPal. 678. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to split the money two ways. I'm going to send it to the American family and the UK family, because I don't want there to be any resentment over the fact that money has been sent for the family. And, you know, it should be sent to the family, which means split. Yeah. And that seems like a fair thing. But I'm going to take £50 off it. Maybe that's not enough, I don't know. But that's going to be spent on the flowers that we're going to send across. So when I know where the funeral is going to take place, we will then give the details out of where. So if anybody wants to send flowers direct, they can, or cards direct, they can. And then once I know that, I can send the flowers to that address at that time. So we will arrange for that. But I get the feeling Gareth probably wouldn't want to spend a lot of money on flowers, and I think it's better that the family gets a little bit of money in various directions. So that's my thinking. You know, tell me if you think that's good or bad. But you know, I don't want to see any, you know, arguments over, you know, who gets what. So I'll be upfront. This is how much it is. You both get the amounts. If then the family on one side wants to send some more money across, that's up to them. But, you know, it's split down the middle, so it's up to the various parties what they do after that point. Would that seem fair? Tell me if that seems fair. So, yeah. Okay, so that's it. That's it, really. Well, B-face, man. Away from all this shit, right? I mean, away from all this shit. I know we've been like moaning on about it, but right, everything's good with you.
Yeah,
Everything's
everything's
good.
gone well. I've just been relaxing and, you know,
Yeah.
chilling, sleeping, and all that lot.
Yeah.
And doing the various things that I've had to do over the past couple of days.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing
Haunted
well.
Coachman says he's already been cremated. Do you know that? I don't know that for certain. I don't know that. I mean, certainly no. I mean, I don't know if he's been cremated or if he's going to be buried or what's going on, to be honest. I don't know, so let's not debate on that one. I'll tell you when I know, which I don't know at the moment. Sorry, B-face. Landers
I'm
saying,
gonna have to get disappearing now because I do need to go to bed.
okay, mate. All right. Look, you
Right,
head off.
see you.
You can walk with us if on the way home if you want, or you can just head off now.
Well, I'm stood right outside the front door, so
Oh, have you been walking the whole time?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. Night. Bye.
Okay, well, bye, bye, B-face. Bye. He's gone. And you see? All of a sudden, he's gone. Exploring with Brady's here again. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm alright, bud.
I'm going to do a... I can't get out. I can't get... See, I've got one of these... Right, have you noticed, right? He's got one of these... His teeth show upwards. I got one of these... My teeth show downwards. So he looks like he's smiling, and he looks like he's a really positive person, whereas I look like I'm just like Mr. Fucking Negative. That's me. I couldn't, even if I tried, get my teeth to go up there and smile.
I can do that. Like,
Hang on. Hiya! How you all doing? And you see I got like gaps.
yeah.
I got 2 gaps there where they took my teeth out recently. So it's no good. I'm better off this way because these ones look intact. Yeah. So these ones like I am faulty. I am faulted. That. But as long as I don't show you my upper teeth, I'll be all right. Oh no! Stick with the upper ones. You're all right with. We're like Mr. Potato Head. Stick with the upper ones. Sorry.
Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day.
What a day! What a day! What a schmay. Wait. Can you talk about it?
I can talk about it. Yeah. It's done and dusted now. So, but yeah,
Right.
we've had run-in with 2 securities today.
Right.
You saw the first one. I sent you that video.
Yeah, I did see the first one. Are you telling me there's more?
Yeah, there's more, mate. We went to a school, and yeah.
Oh, yeah. I heard you were going to the school, but I didn't know what had happened. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got the video, guys, so it'll be going up soon. But yeah, he got a lesson. Put it this way, a very, very vital lesson on how to speak to people properly.
Mm.
Because
He thought he was the Terminator, did he? And then he got fucking terminated.
Oh, he got properly put in his place. I'll tell you that. Literally hopped over the wall. Wall's about freaking yay big, so yeah, easy to get in. And I was filming, and all I heard was, "Fucking get off this side now! I'm calling the police." I'm like, eh? Like, next minute, I just see this guy pop up out of this fucking, I don't know, container thing that obviously lives on site. I'm like, what the fuck? And then yeah, it just kicked off from there. But you'll have to watch the video, guys. I'm gonna put it up. It's just like, what the fuck? there was just no need for that at all.
Yeah.
And yet, there was
Some
people in there.
what already in there?
Yeah.
Oh
Which
Jesus!
is quite ironic, really, because we went round the side and all you could hear was someone having a rave inside.
Oh, you were getting a bollocking for what somebody else had already done. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? So yeah, it's been a fun day. Yeah, man.
I think it would have been quite nice at what was it, Whitley Estate, where that prick came out and was tripping me up. It'd be like nice to go back there, like and then he comes out and he's like being all, I can trip you up and all this, and then like 20 people come out. And we just start tripping all the security guards up and tripping them onto the floor and going, "Are you all right, mate? You look like you're falling over, mate. Yeah, you look like you need. Do you need a cup of coffee, mate? You look like you're falling over, mate. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Sorry, I've just got home. I will set my laptop up in a minute. Oh, God.
Oh right, okay. Yeah.
Literally just got through the door. So yeah, man. Been a good day though. We hit up a mill.
Yeah.
Amazing place. I'll send you some photos and
Yeah, I've heard all about it. I've heard it's pretty crazy. Intact.
yeah, we were in there about 4 hours. So pretty big place.
Sounds like that mill down in Taunton way. What's it called? Beginning with W. No. Oh yeah, whatever. Sounds like that place. That's pretty intact. It's one of the biggest wool mills. Biggest wool mills around or something.
This is a paper mill apparently.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, literally all the machinery, the whole lot is still in there.
Wow.
All intact. It's massive, mate. You'd love it in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is what we should be about, really, is talking about amazing places and amazing experiences. And you're always going to get your twatty security guards who think that they're like God appointed them, like. And the thing, what was it like? I think they're from Asgard, and.
Oh yeah, I mean the one we had today, the first place we went to, literally called us all dickheads. Literally called us all dickheads. Didn't even say a thing.
Mate, he was standing behind a palisade fence, from what I saw.
Yeah.
Taffy had a ladder up against it, and he was just about to climb over. And the guy's going, "Oh yeah, well you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be that." And then, as you said, after I saw that video, you were like, he was then going, dickheads, and all that, right? And I'm just thinking, I've seen plenty of videos of dogs inside car windows and behind fences, and when another dog gets over there, they soon shut the fuck up. Yeah.
We did. As soon as we all started, giving it back, he soon shut up, and then he apologised at the end. But he apologised. We were like, well, if you talk to us nicely, we will talk to you nicely. Not, oi, dickheads, get off. Like, what? Whoa, no need for that. If you just say, can you please leave? Yeah, we'll go. Christ,
Yeah.